Revert it to Crowdcast quite yet. I keep meaning to sit down and learn, but I haven't. Anyway, um, so last week, you guys were back in Neverwinter to find out that there was the middle of attack going on. I call it the Night of Fire and Blood. The castle was burning. Pieces of the Lord's Enclave was burning, and you guys decided to make it to the castle. On the way, you ran into creatures from some of your nightmares. The creatures that killed Siori's village, and as we were to discover, had also massacred Ralthor's village. Because Ralthor, upon seeing them, suddenly remembered so much of his past before he woke up at age 13 in Waterdeep without a memory. Ralthor even remembered his actual name. He remembered his mother. He remembered everything. You guys made it to the castle, discovered that much of the people in there had been slaughtered, but Biddy and Adler had managed to save Grandpa Aeolus Windstar, the one-T guy that you guys said one of Biddy had made friends with, sort of, and Renar Neverember. The poor that rich boy that you actually brought here in the first place because of his father. However, everybody else in the castle seems to have been slaughtered, including Dagalt Neverember. Yeah. After that, you guys, having remembered about this weird flash of light that one of you had seen in the distance before you made it to the castle, headed over to the human-only zone. Discovered that many of the guards had been diverted off to the castle and thus were killed, and learned that the epicenter of the flash of light was in fact Thrace's, Shiori's enemy, home. Entering in, you discovered bodies. These ones were not killed by the same fiends that had slaughtered so many other things. Instead, they died the way that Ralph remembered the people on his ship had died, after he and they had escaped from the things in his village. These weird burn patterns on their chests and in their eyes. Even Thrice himself had been killed this way.
Weird death.
And upon searching Thrice's office, discovered a lead about one Galen Cole. After which, Shiori, deciding that her vengeance was yet complete, decided to carry the body off. And for expedience sake, all of you have now returned back to the Windstar Manor, discovering that it's more or less intact. Elmer has taken a little bit of damage, not so much. It's a tree, but he's fine. He's probably a little bit overwhelmed at this point because a whole lot of new people he wasn't told to let in have pushed past him, including people who were just basically said, "Hey, we heard that this is the Windstar Manor. We figured we'd come here because we were traveling with a Windstar, which happened to be the 4 people, actually the 5 people you met along the road. The 4 caravanners plus Grace, that little elven scout you kidnapped and kind of got syndrome.
It doesn't kidnap. She came willingly. After we threatened her.
It's still Stockholm syndrome. Anyway,
But she came willingly.
Anyway, as the rest of you walk in the door to discover this, there is one unusual thing that you guys kind of notice as you're looking around at your companions and taking stock that your friends are alive. Galmel and Rhiannon are alive. Rhiannon is lightly hurt. Her hands are burned, and Mother Windstar, whose name unfortunately I don't have, I'm bad with names, is currently in the process of bandaging them. Now, group, Iron Roses, what would you guys like to do now?
Should we set up a safe zone and try to escort as many people as we can to that zone? If the attack is still going on?
The attack seems to have wounded down. The fires were in the process of being put out. As you were walking back, you pretty much didn't hear any more screams. And, basically everything's alright now. It seems to be getting to back to be all right. You've noticed some guards coming around, first aid responders coming, other, not necessarily just first aid, but other aid responders, people like from the various temple district, have been coming out and coming up to heal. So, at this point, everybody but Will appears to be in residence at the Windstar Manor. Everybody that you know and care about. Oh, and James. James is also missing.
James has been missing for like a solid 2 weeks now.
Yeah, James hasn't
because he
returned
was never
either.
James.
Yeah.
So
James and whatever other forms James is, that people have assumed is James, is nowhere to be seen.
We really should get everybody together. Rhiannon, can you send a message to James and Will and tell them to come back, please? And Rhiannon will, as she's getting her knuckles wrapped, what? I looks over at Gamel. I don't know how to explain this.
I do.
Hello, everybody watching.
She
Lead the way.
no longer remembers being a healer.
All of my memories that I had are of me in a monastery, doing my studies there with the monks. And Gamel said that I was a holy woman?
Mm-hmm.
I have no memory of this whatsoever.
Now she punches.
She smiles and she shrugs. That's what I'm good at. I had one thing I guess we figured out. The other night in the library, I met somebody.
Oh. I can show you exactly what they look like. I'll use disguise self to look like the person that was talking to Rhiannon with the before she blacked out. I think he had like silver eyes, humanish looking individual.
Very well dressed, pocket handkerchief, spectacles. Apparently, I'm trying to put the pieces together. He is some type of celestial. Gamel showed me gripping my holy symbol and then going unconscious. I talked to Lograth, and he seemed very concerned. The memories that I have of me in the monastery and the memories that all of you have of me do not match up. And he said something of possibly a very, very evil entity aiding whatever block or change happened in me. He mentioned the name Vecna. But he doesn't think that he's solely responsible for this, but must have aided in the switching of my memories or my being. But the concern is he is losing memories as well. He said there was something larger, something bigger at play here. He couldn't remember what, but he remembered the phrase, "The reverse of my dark reflection." Like, for example, if on this plane, he being who he is, would most likely be an evil entity, there would also be a reflected version of him somewhere else that would be the opposite. So
you're saying there's another one of me.
Yes, which I don't even know what that would look like, honestly. I'm kind of trying to figure that out, but...
Probably about the same. Probably wants to
She
after the
shrugs.
neutral. Neutral.
Probably.
But he did say for us to talk to somebody. Somebody that would be of aid. But he told me not to go alone. Because apparently this individual does not like him very much, and now I have bound myself to him. We need to go talk to the Raven Queen. She might have some idea of what's going on. But yeah. How are y'all? You look pretty beat up.
Yeah,
Well, they do.
relatively
I
fine.
don't.
Relatively fine.
Ralpho's looking for alcohol.
Sure, just gonna drops the body.
Alright, we've also brought the body. That's right. Forgot about that.
And Will has yet to return. The body, Gamil, and Biddy, and Aldor, basically everybody but the ones who went to the thing, have never seen this type of damage before. Where it looks like the chest has a burn mark through it, and the eyes are pretty much singed away, as if some sort of light just singed right through them.
Can Rhiannon do like a religion check or anything, or would that be blocked because it's the
She can do a religion check.
celestial?
Monks do know religion stuff.
Okay, she's gonna
Yeah,
do
can
that.
Adler wants to do a religion check to see if there's anything religious.
Same here.
Because Adler knows how to do religion. Hopefully.
Yes, he does.
He does.
He
Jesus.
does indeed. He knows.
Ralthor, considering that you saw this before and you know what caused it, you don't actually need to do the check. You already know what caused this. If yeah, I can whisper something to Adler real quick, or I can just let you explain, Ralthor.
Send it over to Adler because Ralthor is kind of not in the same room because he's in the kitchen looking for alcohol.
Got it.
Oh,
So,
boy.
as you study the body, it hits you like a ton of bricks. This is something incredibly rare because it's rarely done, but it's like one of those things that tends to only happen during extreme holy wars, when beings from the celestial plane actually descend and start doing more than just physical damage to things. It's kind of, I want to use the term soul sundering, where the soul is basically ripped free from somebody's body, killing them by a celestial being.
Huh. But why would it be happening here?
Yeah, that's what you're probably very confused about, especially considering that you were fighting fiends earlier, and okay, maybe there's some connection, but it's like, okay, first there's fiends, and then there's some sort of celestial being that's come down and has slaughtered not the fiends, but some random people, as far as you know, and cause of this damage.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so that's what you know by studying that.
Hey,
Hello.
Hi. Plug.
Is
You-
Gone silent.
Are you guys okay?
yeah.
Okay.
What is
Okay.
up?
I thought maybe something had happened while I was whispering to Rick.
no.
Oh,
Okay, so you see Adler's eye, basically the light of understanding come into Adler's eyes just as Ralthor comes back with a bottle of something.
Rhiannon holds up the bottle and cheers him.
Something wrong, Adler?
No,
Hello, my kitty cat.
no, wrong would not be the right word. It's just... I'm trying to figure out why this has happened to this person. I mean, this is very rare to happen. It's only usually done in holy wars.
What?
Usually, a celestial real being. Sorry, I forgot the wording.
Use your
Chris?
instincts! Use your instincts!
I forgot the wording. I don't remember the wording.
Use the force.
Go Buffy.
The whole point is you get to
Do
use
it.
your own
Do it.
interpretation of the word,
Do
and you don't have to use mine verbatim. Because if I corrected you every time you got something wrong that I said, it would be less interesting.
Oh God.
Oh.
You can do it.
Don't put that much pressure on me.
Rick, he's the man. If no one knows, no one
Fucked.
does.
But of course, Ralthor also knows exactly what happened. So Ralthor probably seeing Adler, struggling to try to put it into words
Oh.
could also help.
I believe it's called soul sundering or something along those lines.
Well, that's a fancy way to put it.
So Celestial did this.
Exactly.
Wait, a Celestial burned down the town?
No, burned him.
Yeah.
And
Caused
he-
this damage and other points to the dead body and how it's damaged.
Oh.
My,
Um,
my patron mentioned something once. Mrs. Phaedra said, I asked for guidance for one thing. And he said that this thrice had many different enemies. Is it possible he made some deal with devils or fiends? And the Celestial was one of these enemies taking care of him? I don't know. He just mentioned he had a lot of enemies.
Hmm.
And I find it convenient he also left the castle right before the attack.
Yes. Unfortunately, I only feel like bringing this Mai to a temple to figure out anything more. Would raise too many questions. Shows up kind of like Rhiannon and then Galmil and everybody who's wasn't with the group. I'm glad you're all alright.
Rhiannon
Where-
cracks her knuckles.
Where's James?
I thought he was with y'all.
No.
Aki,
Over
say...
this.
That James.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Aki wasn't paying attention to James at all. Never mind.
Oh, I don't know where Will is, but he's probably around. Maybe. I don't know.
Isn't he always around?
Phaedra
see.
will just yell, Will!
Maybe he's not. He was safe, I imagine, though.
Maybe he's in a different plane.
Don't say that.
That would explain why he can hide so easily.
Yes!
Oh,
Hello?
there he is.
There
Hello.
he is.
Yelling at me.
Making sure you're okay.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Well, I was talking to you the entire way back, and you didn't respond, so I just wanted to make sure you were okay.
I wasn't there.
What?
Well, you must have looked funny talking to yourself.
She kind of like lowers her head and like scratches the back of her neck. Okay. And just kind of looks very sheepish at the ground.
Oh, you should make sure someone is there to hear you next time.
I can't ever find you, Will. I just assumed you were there.
Well, it's always good to assume that I'm here.
Sometimes.
Oh, what's going on?
Have you seen James at all?
Nope.
As you're all
Nonsense.
talking, please roll a perception check.
Oh no.
All of us?
Yes, all of
Alright.
you.
Well-
Alright, give me a second.
Just give me a second as I go through 3 character sheets. 1.
It's another
One-
demon.
2.
22. Can we have a short rest before we get thrown into another fight, Chris?
And 3.
Gamel's being.
Well, whatever it is, I'm pretty sure all of my characters see it.
Alright. Alright, so as you guys are standing there chatting, eventually your attention is sort of drawn towards one of the windows, where you start seeing a few ravens gathering. They appear
Guys?
peering in and, just kind of watching you.
Guys,
Already?
I think the birds are going to attack us.
No, that's cool. I know them.
You
Yeah.
know them.
What are they saying, Will? What are they?
Well, they're saying the word.
Bird?
Oh, what about Hold on, let me go out and have a chat with them.
Welcome, mischievous fox.
Do y'all have a basement? I look at the wind stars.
Sorry, what did you say?
Do you guys have a basement?
Oh, by the way, at this point, most of you haven't seen in a while, wanders in.
Papa,
Hold on.
Who?
I'm trying to remember where their sheet went.
God
Oh,
damn
right,
on this map.
I forgot. They're in the other game. They're gonna need to be imported in.
Oh, no.
Rick, when you have a chance, export then import into this game.
Yep, give me,
Oh
So
no.
basically, you guys see a very tired looking fawn wandering in.
definitely not.
Rouse.
where is it here?
Quincy,
Two.
Rouse.
Do this one.
Roll an animal handling check.
No, I'm not gonna do that because he's gonna kill it, and I don't want that. So I'm gonna be nice.
Oh, you've made a good decision.
Don't
Because yes, I
worry,
would've killed it.
Beast will kill you.
Oof.
The ravens begin to call.
I've exported to here.
Okay, cool.
Ralph wants to call as well.
He's just cawing randomly. Doesn't know what he's doing.
Yo, guys, isn't it super ominous that when the ravens arise, so does the creepy traitor? I find that an omen.
Wow, are you holding grudges against ravens
What?
or something?
What? Why the hell did he pop up there? I don't like that position.
Oh, you guys are alright.
What
Oh,
the
thank
fuck
God.
are you doing here, traitor?
Fun?
Hey, fun.
Be back.
Where did you come from?
Where did I come from?
He has amnesia.
Grapple check, wrestle him to the ground.
What? I'm answering questions!
I don't care. I don't want you teleporting away or anything.
I can do
Get
that
on the
without...
ground. If I'm holding your hands, you can't. I don't know what
I have
components you
subtle
need.
spell. I can just...
I don't know. I don't know that. Don't put that logic on me. Beast doesn't know that.
What do I have to roll?
Athletics or acrobatics contested. I rolled pretty crap, so you might have a chance. Yeah, you're fine.
Oh!
Jesus Christ.
I am putting up with none of this! How dare you try and grab me?
How dare you leave James alone in a dungeon with a dragon, you dunce?
I told the people at the tavern this already, but I don't remember ever doing that.
Like I care.
Cinder being right next to him should be able to read emotions. She's going to just tap in and kind of just see how Fawn's feeling right.
Right
I'm
now,
gonna
annoyed.
insight check 11. Why can I only roll 11s today?
Hey, Fawn, you carrying the bag?
Yes, Fawn is carrying the...
Perception
Well-
check. Do I see the bag?
Roll perception check, guys. Well, if you're looking at Fawn, roll a perception check.
God, why am I rolling so bad today? Oh man, I'm angry. Do we get advantage because we know what a bag of holding looks like?
You guys notice that he's holding a bag of holding. Those of you who actually notice you're holding a bag, there's something else.
Oh, I don't care about anything else. I care about the bag of holding.
Oh, well, that's easier. Shuttle gets both of them, but so anyway, both Rhiannon and Phaedra will see this.
Interesting bag of holding you have there, Fawn.
I am inclined to agree with you there.
And how did you
Initials.
procure
Hold
it?
on. GCE. I'm gonna make a Hail Mary. Kate figured it out, but I don't know if Fate can, so intelligence.
Rhiannon saw it too. She's very
Oh,
intelligent.
sweet!
Come on.
Hold on.
I hope
Come
you can
on!
figure it out because
But
Fawn
Rhiannon
can't.
doesn't know the name,
they-
though.
No, she doesn't, so she wouldn't. It would just be Phaedra.
But go ahead with the Hail Mary.
Please, dice gods be in my favor.
Help action.
Nope.
Can't help with this.
Grace, you
GCE.
shuttle.
GCE. That's
That's what.
Jeez. Does Beast know it? Can he make roll? I don't think so.
GCE,
GCE?
GCE.
Yeah. Let's make it dull. Nope.
that looks very. I've never seen a bag of holding with initials on it before.
Yeah, neither have I, honestly. Until, you know, when I
No.
woke up to see
He
it.
stole it. He got
No,
transported and stole
I
it.
am highly
Oh.
inclined to disagree with that statement.
And
because
there's
How would you know? You don't remember how you got it.
the paper from the 24th was also on his person when he appeared here.
I was about to tell you, Beast, but you butted in. I remember the last... Okay, so... I woke up in a random, nice, fancy inn to this bag of holding just on a table with a note saying money inside. Lo and behold, there was actually money inside. And I'll move away from Beast.
I did get a message from Talon saying that you arrived, Rhiannon will say. Said
Yes,
that it was a
would be correct.
possibility that you could still be controlled, but
That's...
she didn't say you were hostile. They were just researching more information. I thought you were in Waterdeep. This is odd.
Yeah.
Chris, how did I get here? What's the last thing I remember?
You have no idea. You were asleep on, the night of the 30th, or no, not the night, not the sleep, but you were meditating on like the 30th, just as night was falling, and suddenly you were here also on the 30th, and things were on fire outside.
Oh. So I have no idea how I got here.
Phaedra kind of looks over at Rhiannon whenever she says that. And she kind of like looks Fawn up and down. And then her expression changes from like stern to just very soft. And immediately just like pulls him in for a hug. I thought something was wrong with you. Where did you go?
I
There
wish
was.
I had answers. But honestly, I have no answers.
And you didn't find it suspicious that there was just a random bag of holding with gold in it?
I mean, of course I did.
And you didn't want to figure out who gave you the bag or whatever? You just assumed, oh, I woke up in this strange place and now I have a bag with
Yes.
gold and this is a good idea?
It's not like there was any way of me figuring that out. Listen, my first instinct was to just figure out why I woke up in a random inn. Okay?
You don't remember anything at all.
Now, the last thing the last thing before this whole time skip to a few days ago was me attuning to the stone, and then anything after that point, I don't remember.
There has to be some way to try to get your memory back.
Yes, Grick said something about trying to figure that out.
I'm not one with magic, but I think we might need to take that body to a temple to try to speak with dead, because I don't think Rhiannon can anymore, from what she said.
What happened to Rhiannon?
I don't fucking know, Rhiannon says from the corner as she's like swigging a bottle.
Apparently she's now no longer a holy woman.
And what, is she now drunk? Fawn just watches Rhiannon drinking. It's like, huh?
Apparently she can also punch, according to Kiana.
The only memories I have are studying in a monastery, and everybody else has led me to believe that I've been a holy woman this entire time. I have no memory of it whatsoever.
Huh.
But I might not remember my own studies, as you say that I've been with the divine, but I do know the clerics of Denier do have knowledge. Might be able to figure out what's wrong with your head there. I don't know.
Hopefully.
Hey, Shiori, Phaedra will
Yes.
pipe up. Take a look at this bag of holding.
She looks over it.
The initials GCE. Does that mean anything to you?
She's just staring now.
Beast is gonna rummage in his pocket. And he's gonna like pull out a note. He's gonna give it to the other Windstars. The note that we found in the desk. Or I don't know who ended up having that, but I'll ask for it to ask if they know anything else about it.
Galen Cole. That's the bag that Fawn has, right?
Yeah.
And you don't remember who gave you that bag.
No, I don't.
GCE says, right?
That's what I see.
Yep. The initials of the letters GCE.
You said he had a shipping company, right?
Mm. Yes. It's possible that he was involved with whatever Fawn can't remember.
Pedro, look at Vaughn. You said you had a note with money in the bag. How much
Yep.
money is in that bag?
Let's just say a lot.
Like a few hundred?
As I said, let's just say a lot.
Rhiannon will perk up at this time. Is it about 1 million?
Why do you guess that?
Because I got an offer the other day for about 1 million in gems from an unknown source, contacting me through the devil that works with Thorn's Tavern for an item that I have.
And that item one. No, never mind. I probably won't remember that.
Yep, that's why I was like, nope, not gonna say it. It's item. He wouldn't state his name, but this item is something.
So Fawn sold his. Presumably.
It would be helpful if we could get his memories back.
It would, wouldn't it?
Agreed. I'll be honest, I don't want to drag this body anymore through the town.
Well, I have a solution for that.
Put it in the
And
back.
I look behind me. Oh, no.
No, Fader's like,
He hasn't eaten yet.
There won't be much of the body left when I'm done.
Cinder backs away from the displacer beast and goes over to Fader.
He's just hungry.
Well,
I
also, it appears we've got. I look at the people who came with the group that was on the road. It's like, see, we've got some new faces here.
That's the least of our problems.
The half orc steps forward and says, "Pleased to meet you. I'm Gary. I had the pleasure of picking up these fine folks and bringing them back here, and we were in time to be some assistance to the town."
Pleasure to meet you too.
Think about it, guys. Wasn't Lord Never Ember gonna give this tooth to the giants to stop them from attacking?
Yes, that's why we were getting it.
Yeah, he's dead now.
Yes. Oh,
You see the dilemma?
and we were going to have this identified, but I don't know if anybody here knows how to identify.
I would say just give it to the giants at this point. That's not. The town doesn't have the capability of even trying to fend off the giants. It's just better to give it to them.
Brianna will perk up. If we're going to the temple, I'm sure the clerics would have that kind of magic, I would imagine. Gamel
also
showed me. Oh, well,
Yeah.
that works.
Yeah, we'll take 10 minutes and identify the tooth to make sure it's nothing nefarious.
Yeah, not only is it nothing nefarious, but as Gamil, looks it over, he discovers it's not even magical.
Oof.
Ah, this is a really powerful relic. You see, what you can do with it is if he walks over to like a table with it, takes a piece of paper and sets it down and sits on there. It can hold paper down.
Oh my god. Best invention ever.
My God.
Oh
The sheer amount
Yeah.
of power.
Let's just give it to the giants,
Yeah, this lizard does nothing.
or give it to someone who can give it to the giants, because we can't make this situation any worse just by holding on to it too for no reason. Also, Gris, can we get a short rest while we're talking?
Yes.
I was thinking about
Couldn't we
that.
melt it?
Yeah, but the giants want it, and if we don't give it to them, they'll come stomping out our doors and kill everyone.
I figured
Why don't
maybe
we
the new Lord
request for something?
give it to him.
We could get a lift on their backs.
We're requesting them to not stomp on our faces. I think that's enough.
Yeah.
Remember last time we met the giants? I don't want to relive that situation.
Agreed.
You mean boulders?
Yeah.
Yeah, the boulders weren't very nice.
No, we weren't.
So as you guys are resting and talking, you notice that Shiori is now has a short bow and arrows on her.
Ralpha's just gonna scream out, why?
She's holding one of the arrows that's got like ice on it and just over the body.
But why?
What?
Honestly, any
That's
information
lovely.
he might know about this Galen is probably not even true.
You don't know that.
He didn't know that Galen would have betrayed him until it was too late.
I guess you're right.
And honestly, I trust our own abilities to find information over dead man's.
Beast, there's no way you have that
Yeah.
many hit dice. What are you doing?
No, I'm rolling for the first set was for Quincy
Oh, okay.
for the Displacer Beast.
Yeah, Displacer Beast doesn't exactly get hit dice like that.
They
Yeah,
do.
but they do. Technically speaking, Beast Companions do. So I don't know.
He's not a Beast Companion yet, though.
No, it's
Yeah, but
any
they
any
do.
creature. Any
Yeah,
creature.
Okay.
I think everything has the hit die.
Alright.
If you look at the creature, it says hit points, and then their max hit points, and then in the brackets, are they called?
Ah, okay. I thought that was just like a way of rolling random HP.
It is also, but it's also the hit dice that they have at use at short rest. I'm not sure if they regain full health at long rest, but they do use
Yeah.
hit dice.
Yeah, just remember, you guys, you don't regain all of your hit dice back on long rests. You only gain a fraction of them.
Yes.
This is the
Okay.
first time he ever used hit die.
Okay. No, I'm just reminding you because you're using lots and lots of hit die right now.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I was guessing someone would.
And my cat is now laying on my notes, of course.
I just don't know if it's worth trying to explain this to a priest.
Look, it's worth giving it a shot, but I'm pretty sure the temples have their hands full at this particular moment. Also, there might be things we don't want to talk about with people we just know for 3 days. No offense. I'm
Gar-
talking about Bob and Gary and such.
Well, Bob is currently not in the room with the rest of you. He's wandered off somewhere. Gary, Avery, and Bethany are still here. They kind of look at you guys. And Gary kind of thinks for a moment and folds his arms and says, "You know, we have unfortunately gotten a little bit involved here. If it has something to do with what's going on in the town, then I think that we do deserve to know, as we've been helping out. If it has something to do only with what's going on with you and your guild, then we will respect your privacy."
I was more talking about the fact that there is particularly like an item we possess somewhere worth an absorbent amount of money, which no one should know about because it's already enough trouble as it is.
You mean that bag of holding?
Yeah, sure, that's the item I'm talking about.
No wait, decision die.
Not that I'm particularly worried that you'll steal it. It's just if information got out, you know how
Roll,
things
Beast,
go.
roll a perception check.
Look, this is good. I haven't rolled high today yet. I'm sad. Sure. What did I lose, Chris?
I can't tell you because you didn't notice it.
Wow. But what did I lose? I can't tell you.
Yeah, but out of character is this to edit my sheet, Chris.
There's nothing on your sheet that's been removed. Is this something that is it something else entirely? So
Oh, then I do I I see the possibilities. I don't know.
Someone cut your hair without you noticing.
That would be funny.
someone shaved you while you were asleep. Only half your face though.
Hey.
Don't worry, it'll grow back when I get angry.
Yeah.
If that worked in real life, I would look like a Wookiee.
Well, that decision died. Exactly what I'm going to do. It's fine.
But if Will can regrow hair, he'd probably look like an Ewok.
Yeah,
You know?
but guys,
That's
what are
true.
we gonna do now? Because city's kind of in shambles. Is everyone that is in technically speaking, like the leaders of the city, is everyone dead?
Well, we found Geralt Neverember with Biddy and Adler.
You found Renair never under de Galt was
Renair,
the
sorry.
father.
We found Renair.
The son with no practice.
No. But if with the proper guidance, someone without practice could be molded into quite a good leader. If you
Yeah.
learn from
With
People
practice and time, which we don't have right now, because the whole city is burning. Or at least a fraction of it.
well,
I don't know a solution, but
I feel like the Windstar family has, though temporarily here, you're mostly in Baldur's Gate, correct?
Sorry, what's the question?
Your family, are you choosing to settle here because of the Baldur's Gate situation?
I mean, most... does Adler? Most likely. We'll do have to figure out what's happened to Baldur's Gate exactly. But for the time being, this is our only home.
Aeolus, he was on the council, wasn't he?
Indeed.
Maybe He can provide guidance. I don't know anything of politics. This is Phaedra. I'm not smart enough for that. But maybe he could help him.
Yes, maybe. We would have to ask him though.
This is true. It was just a thought I had. In regards to the city, like I said, I don't know politics. I don't know strategy outside of battle. But I thought about...
Valthor and Viren, please roll perception checks.
Did you say Ralphar?
Oh, never mind. Valthor's already knows. Viren.
Oh no. Do I want to know?
So,
no.
perception.
So you're kind of hear muttering behind you, a little bit of some Shuri and a little bit from Malthor, while Phaedra is in the middle of talking. It seems like Shuri is doing something on her own.
Just look back behind him, just to see if everything's alright.
And she seems to be talking to the body at her feet.
She's kneeling now at this point.
Okay, so she's kneeling over it then.
Alright then. I'm just going to look the other way.
But
Didn't see anything.
Will, have you heard anything from the Ravens yet?
As you look around, you notice that Will is not inside and can't hear you. Well, at least you don't see him anywhere, and he hasn't. He's far enough away that he can't hear you.
Yeah, guys, I also don't feel comfortable with all these ravens around.
They're just
Well,
birds.
I'm just gonna
They're
say,
just
yeah,
birds or flying spies.
what is up with the raven?
The imp starts chattering something in Infernal. Those of you who understand Infernal basically say, they're all here for the Raven Queen, blah blah blah. They aren't just birds.
Yes. The imp. He is talking.
Hearing that, Rhiannon will.
And yes, the imp actually did say blah blah blah.
He said blah blah blah.
Is there a raven on this windowsill?
Yes. Caw!
Rhiannon will hold out her hand.
Yeah, and roll perception check.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, Rhiannon?
Looks down, frightened. Oh, hi. Do I still need a real perception,
Yes.
or was that it?
That wasn't
Okay.
for it.
I didn't know.
It wasn't me this time.
It wasn't me this time. This time, Gadget.
This time.
No, you didn't notice.
Fine, Gadget.
Ouch.
No, you're too busy focused on the Raven and Will to notice what else happened. So it's like, yeah, you're looking at the Raven. The Raven calls up at you, and then Will says something.
Are
What
they
do you
saying anything interesting?
No, not now.
She'll hold out her hand to see if the raven will jump on her arm.
The imp scrambles up onto your head as the Raven hops up and lands in your hand.
I'll tell the Raven that there's an imp on.
The imp's perfectly visible at the moment.
Oh, okay. Watch out for that imp, it's a bastard, I say in Raven.
And the Raven responds back, "Don't worry, we know." Caw.
How do we commune with your mistress?
The Raven
She'll
just
just
kind
kinda-
of tilts its
She'll
head this way and
probably
that.
commune with us when she wants to.
The imp mutters something again in Infernal. Darn it! No, I don't want to. Why did I have to be?
Shut it!
Society?
Shut it!
Yeah,
This is part of your assignment.
Yeah,
will-
yeah.
Deal with it.
you did tell me something earlier when we left the house of Frisch.
Viren and Ralthor, it's getting remarkably cold nearby where you're standing.
Uh-huh.
Wait, Varen?
I'm choosing to ignore what's
Ralph?
happening behind me.
Yep.
to ignore it.
I'm well aware of what's happening behind me, I just don't want to look at it. Not my problem if I don't look at it.
I will.
Well, when we left the house of Drain Fries, I noticed a couple of them on the roof, and I left you guys have a chat. Apparently, Raven Queen has an interest in the occurrence of their death. They were not supposed to be dead yet.
Fucking claws.
So somebody is toying with fate then.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Perhaps this individual is the same one that toyed with my fate.
I wouldn't know. I'd ask them, but they don't tell me. Oh, apparently Ralph's fate has also been toyed with.
Wait, what? Stops drinking?
Oh, no, you already noticed it. You're usually fine.
Call.
Yes. And I excuse to the Ravens for the horrible insult that Ralph just said.
I know how to swear in that. Awesome.
You know how to swear in Celestial.
Oh my god, you're right. Ralph will say fucking celestial under his breath right behind Adla. I mean, Varen. God damn it.
It's kind of the same thing because being behind Viren, where the place where you can actually be behind Viren is also behind Adler.
I imagine both of them turning around like, Ralph.
Well,
Ralph will
the only one who would actually know what Ralph said is Viren. Adler doesn't know Celestial.
How does Adler not know Celestial? I thought he was a
How does Adler
paladin.
not know Celestial?
I mean, he's a paladin, yeah, but paladins don't instantly learn Celestial.
Okay.
Hee
Rhiannon will whisper to the Raven, we seek an audience with your mistress. We need guidance regarding fates.
Yeah,
And
she
she'll
can't
just let it-
understand you.
I don't know that! I don't know how to speak to birds!
No, I was,
She
I was
just
talking
yells
to
down,
I was talking to the Raven.
Oh!
Sorry. What intelligence right there? Talk about Rihanna. Never mind, I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, okay, you got your wish granted. If you wanna go and talk to the Raven Queen, go right ahead. I'm not sure if I'm so keen on it.
I can't go alone. I've been...
All right, and you convinced me. I'll come along.
that was easy.
Can I go?
I guess anybody can come.
Why don't we all just go?
Sure,
And
let's
slay
make it a
this
party.
Raven Queen.
I'll bring the ale.
Wait, are we slaying this person?
No.
I think, I mean, I think everybody, if they want to go, can go, but I think definitely those whose fates have been altered should definitely go.
Ralph, Rhiannon, definitely. I have, a question or two for the Raven Queen as well, but that's after you guys, of course. Who else want to come and talk to the God of Death?
I'll go.
Ralph puts up his hand while taking his glove.
Well, I'll take you there.
Ralph wants to
I
find out about
I won't tell you where it is. I won't say it out loud.
It's in the basement.
No?
Oh,
Only the people who come along may know where it is.
Fair enough. A secret is safe.
are we gonna get knocked out?
I don't know.
I volunteer knocking out the tiefling.
Hey, back off.
I volunteer knocking out the elves.
I volunteer
Ralph
not
will-
getting knocked out.
Ralph will grab Grace and use her as a body shield.
Poor girl,
Grace
she's
is
been
healed.
through a
Leave
lot.
Grace alone.
Roll an athletics check.
I
Please,
don't know,
Grace.
like Grace still hangs
Dodge
with
out of the
us.
way.
Come on, Grace. Kick his ass.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna laugh my ass off if she does.
No.
Oh.
Oh,
Althor's just kind of dragging her along at this point.
poor
Burn-
Grace.
Varen will
Putting her right in front of me, that's all.
Don't worry.
Varen will just turn around. It's like Ralph,
Ralthor.
I'm hiding.
leave Grace alone.
Ralpha,
Hiding.
drop it.
It.
Oh god.
That's a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, that was Shiori? I thought that was Galmil.
No, it's
Wait,
Gamma,
what is
sorry.
this?
Tasha said his laughter.
A wisdom saving?
Yep.
throw?
DC 15. Oh, Gamma. Gamma's the one who can do it. Nope.
Motherfucker.
Now you're on the floor laughing.
Grace will use the opportunity to go and hide behind Gary.
Well, if Elmer is coming along, meet me at the front door. I just have to talk to Elmer a little bit.
I can't move. I'm too busy laughing.
He'll drop it after she gets somewhere behind Geary.
Gary.
Sure, he's gonna look at Phaedra. Are you going or are you staying here?
I'm still beat up from. I will stay here. I don't feel like talking to a goddess tonight.
No, either.
Ralph wants to find if Mother had a quick and non-painful death.
So which Windstar's going?
Yeah, I've been thinking of that ever since the question of going started.
Wouldn't
The
Fawn want to
necromancer,
know
maybe?
what happened?
Yeah, probably not the necromancer.
Yeah. I would say Fawn.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
know.
deleting the
That seems
pet
logical.
/ companion tokens off the map because they're just cluttering everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
With all the NPCs around, I can't have them on there right now.
We just assume they're following the people.
Yeah.
Can I pat myself down to find out what I got stolen?
You didn't get anything stolen. I was doing it to see if you noticed. If you noticed when you were telling the party of 3 to leave the room. If you noticed that Grace was standing over there too, you weren't addressing her, and she's more likely to steal from you than the party.
Like Grace is a threat to us.
Well, she
Oh.
doesn't like you, so.
I still have
Ooh, is the Bob coming? Is Bob coming?
Holds this.
Bob
Still
is
have Orcus.
currently still drawing pictures of Elmer and the Ravens. Do you wish to talk to him to
Damn it.
convince him to come?
Oh, yes.
All right. So Bob is pretty much by himself, right outside the. Oops. Wrong page. Windstar Family Manor. Yeah. So Bob is down there, just hanging out. He's drawing pictures. He's looking over towards Elmer and all that.
Roll persuasion.
And he looks up as you come in. It's like, oh, hi, Ralthor.
Please.
Please what?
Oh, you didn't hear the first thing that I said. I whispered, come with us.
Oh,
And then just normal voice,
Sorry,
please.
I was out here just drawing the big moving tree and all those ravens. It's pretty neat.
Did you know the tree talks?
Yeah. It tried to ask us what we were doing here when we were all coming in, and I think there was just so many of us it got confused. I don't know. I think Gary tried to calm it down, but it was like slightly burnt and apparently taking on some of those monsters too, and we taken on some of those monsters, and oh, those things were scary. Yeah. Did you deal with those, Ralthar?
Yes, as a child and as of today's. Ralthar.
I'm not sure what that means.
Hiding tears.
But what were you asking? Where are you going?
Oh, we're just going to go see a person of death.
That
Sounds kind of cool.
sound good.
I mean, it could be cool. You could draw it.
And then he pauses and thinks. Okay.
Yes!
The promise of drawing. Draw him away.
Yes, actually, that is the path to Bob.
Bob path.
I love Bob, he's awesome.
Thank you. I like playing Bob. So Bob ends up following you guys to the graveyard, which is where Will ends up leading you. It's still late at night. It's like 2, 3 in the morning at this point. The graveyard is pretty quiet.
Yeah, who would have thought that we would see the god of death in the graveyard, eh?
Definitely not me. I thought it'd be in one of the lakes.
I know, right? Well, heading towards the shrine over there.
Alright. So yeah, off to one side of the graveyard, not too far from the gravekeeper's shack, you notice that there is definitely a shrine. You really weren't paying attention to it before the last couple times you were here because you're mostly looking at the tombs and the grave markers and all that. And the shrine off to the side wasn't all that interesting. It's like just so commonplace in every graveyard that you've ever visited before that it's easy to overlook and forget that it's there.
Is the graveyard keeper still alive?
You don't know. It seems that the shack doesn't have a light source at the moment, but it's also 3 in the morning.
Ralpha wants to know if there's anything else near the shrine.
As you guys look over towards the shrine, you notice that there are a bunch of ravens sitting on top of it.
Yeah, I think it's
They're
that one.
silent and watching you.
Ooh. Ralpha will go to the shrine and put
Don't
down
go
a
at
gold
him.
coin to
They look-
pay his respects.
They look at it and look at Ralthor, but remain silent.
Ralpha waves at the birds.
Are you just trying to give shiny things to the ravens?
No, I was paying my respect.
I don't think
So-
that's quite what they mean.
So just telling me the respect of the Raven Queen, the god of death, is 1 gold piece.
I mean,
No,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to judge you for what you think.
Wow.
Welcome
Willie's just gonna walk in.
Same.
It looks like a really tiny room, at least at first it does.
I'm a really tiny person.
Then it's a big room for you. Haha.
But, hold on. I'll move you onto a map with more things you can look at. Well, less things that I look at, actually, but less distracting.
A battle map.
Yeah,
Bring
but
out the ravens.
But basically, at first, it looks like just a tiny room that really Will and somebody else could squeeze into, but then it's like, you just dropped into this darkness, and all the ravens just suddenly swoop around as you guys start, trying to file in, and, they fly in behind you, and suddenly it's you feel cold. You feel this cold and this dark, and it's like you're walking down a tunnel, each of you, instead of walking into a tiny little shrine.
Is there a light at the end of the tunnel?
No.
Is there a light?
Towards the light.
Very dramatic.
The light is behind you, actually.
Oh, we'll
But
go
even
walk
that,
the opposite way.
but even that is swallowed up as the ravens come through.
I can't see. Can I have somebody's shoulder, please?
Well, I'm too short.
Sure.
Even the people with dark vision can't see. There's like nothing to see. And I'm spreading you out on purpose.
Are we going downstairs? Are we going downstairs, sort of thing?
No, you just seem to be walking straight, which is impossible because the door you walked through, the room would have been only one human could fit in that room.
The moment Will realizes that it's not a small room and it's just a long tunnel, or at least feels like that, he's just not gonna hesitate. He's just gonna walk forward. Open-minded like that.
Rhiannon puts a hand on Gamel's shoulder.
Ralph's been drinking, so he's gonna stumble forwards because he's never been in such a dark place.
It seems that way, but you can see the ravens clearly as they zoom past, and they all seem to be gathering on ahead of you. But there's like no features anywhere. There's no landmarks. There's no walls. You seem to be walking on something, but you can't tell. It's like blackness.
How can we see the ravens? They're black as well.
So we can't see anything.
But
We can't see each other.
except for the ravens and each other.
Okay.
Beast
so
is gonna head in the direction of the ravens.
Ralph chases them.
Grabbing Cuddle, be right back.
Okay.
In a way, Ralphor is probably in front of everyone in saying this because he's really trying to keep up with the raven.
Are we traveling in this direction?
More like up ahead, but you're not actually moving. So I'm just keeping your tokens in play. I just have your
Not
tokens
moving.
here. I basically just have your tokens here to spread out so I can see who's here. It's
Yeah.
not really a movement thing.
I just wanted Will to walk first.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's not really a movement thing or who's where. It's more like I'm just using this as a reference point for the GM to know who's actually here at the moment,
Fair enough.
character-wise. So Rhiannon's here. Welcome back, Rhiannon. Right ahead of you, you can see thousands and thousands of ravens just all congregating together. Just like they're not separated apart. They're just all like gathering together into a single mass. But you hear their cawing. Ah, caw! And you can feel the breeze of the wings as they all form together into a single solid shape. More of a very. Go ahead.
I knew this was gonna happen.
And
I told you they were gonna merge together.
Not exactly merging. More like have you seen Wreck-It Ralph 2? Ralph Breaks the Internet.
I have, yeah.
Then kind of like that. Yeah. So except somewhat more tightly packed together. So the ravens are all like forming together like that, one on top of each other, until it's like a bunch of them form like a long train or cloak, all the way to feathers. No, they're not. And more of them gather up on the front, kind of like all the beaks pointing together until they look like, kind of the approximation of a face in front. Kind of like a humanoid face or something the approximation of. And the talons forming to get, talons pointing out to form fingers and hands. And I appear to be echoing on somebody's end. I think it's Evil's. Sorry, I get easily distracted, even by small noises. So yeah. So they form together until you basically see in front of you a rather large, much bigger than you, like they maybe 10 feet, 15 feet tall. I'm terrible with judging heights. Figure that's kind of humanoid. And it's looking down at all of you.
Is it like human size, or is it?
No, 10 to 15 feet tall.
Okay.
but it's kind of shaped. It's a bunch of ravens that have now shaped themselves in the approximation of a human, sort of. Like
Willie's gonna walk up, just straight towards it and stay like 20 feet away from it.
All right.
Stop, you know.
Rhiannon will walk forward as well.
Yep, I walk right next to.
Yeah.
I go.
Rasta's
Stop.
keeping an eye on Bob.
But Bob has his sketchbook out and is starting to draw. His face is just looks shocked and amazed.
Yes. I want a copy of that, Bob.
It's unclear if he can even hear you right now. He's so busy drawing.
Sup?
Ratho will watch.
The figure leans down and looks down at all of you. Welcome.
Ratho waves.
Rhiannon bows her head just a little bit.
Gamma just looks straight up at her. Doesn't bow, nothing.
You have
Just smiling.
Will is just holding his staff, looking sternly at the figure.
You have questions. And the voice, which I am bad with voices, comes out kind of like a bunch of voices, like the cawing of ravens is harmonizing yet discordant enough in a way to make different voice sounds, if you know what I mean.
Mm.
It's like how like the what is it called, the thing where it's the different sounds making it sound like somebody's talking.
Yeah.
Reverb?
Maybe I don't remember the term. It's like, but when you
Yeah, I
cut
know.
together a bunch of different voices to make it sound like they're saying words that they're not.
Yeah.
So it sounds kind of like that, except it's all made up of the sound that ravens make, just coming in at different pitches to approximate, the words.
Love the dramatic entrance.
I think we made an entrance. She was just dramatic.
Sure. But I like it nonetheless.
She'll clear her throat. Before I say anything, please, I know that my patron, you do not get along with him. Know that the only reason why I bound myself to him was to save my group. But we do have questions regarding the strings of fate.
Yes.
And
Many have died who were not supposed to die. Their fates suddenly vanishing. Their strings cut instead of ending where they were supposed to. It is most disturbing.
it also seems that my fate has been reflected.
Yes, your fate has been changed to that of another world.
What world would that be?
One parallel to this one. One where you made another, where a version of you made another choice.
So this holy woman that I was still exists somewhere else?
She is you, but your fate has now been altered to reflect the fate of another version of you.
My patron said there was connection to something celestial, and even his memories of these doings or some great event, it escapes him, as well did all of my memories of, I guess, me in this other world. He mentioned a name. Vecna.
Vecna, the Keeper of Secrets. Yes, well, Vecna's one of the few things that, that the Shadow and I agree upon that needs to be thwarted and taken care of. But, I'm not sure how Vecna would come to play in all this, unless we were talking about some secret that the Secret Keeper is keeping that even the Shadow cannot remember. Evil, can you mute yourself, please? Because I keep hearing the typing. Thanks.
It's why I put myself to push to talk, because I'm typing and also doing something in a Discord server.
Yeah. So the figure in front of you just kind of seems to tilt its head slightly back and forth, and you can see bits of fluttering coming up as it moves. You mentioned something celestial. Yes, there was the light that cannot be seen, whose fate line cannot be detected, and it's at a different. Go ahead.
Ratha will say in Celestial, a light?
And she responds also in Celestial, yes, a light. And then returns back to addressing Rhiannon in common tongue. A light that cannot be seen, and unlike the Shadow, is simply gone from all record of fate. The Shadow simply hides.
The Shadow mentioned something. The reverse of my dark reflection. It's the only memory of this he had.
Yes, that would
Is
be
it possible? Sorry.
the reverse of light, of Shadow would be light, by definition.
So they are one and the same.
No, they. She
Or
kind of
ref-
pauses for a moment. It is hard to explain. It's not like, looking down at Rhiannon, it's not like you and the version of you who was always a monk. There are parallel worlds, and then there are reflections of the mirror. Parallel worlds. And she kind of looks towards Fawn for a moment. There's a parallel world, child, where you died a horrible death, running from ghouls.
Uh-huh.
And another parallel world where, while pregnant with you, your mother married somebody else and gave you a different last name.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Those are parallel worlds, but they are different from the reflections that the Shadow speaks of. Those are a bit more difficult for me to quite understand. I understand the parallels, because it is interesting to see where fate lines change, where people live or die depending on the choices that make them them. Instead of someone else, another version of them, the reflected, as he puts it, are different, and yet he considers them to be parallel. He infers this. Only the traveler would know more.
Really?
Yes.
We've had many run-ins with the traveler.
Yes. Because the traveler has other perspectives on fate. This I understood even when I was mortal. And it was something that the Shadow, in fact, counseled me on.
He said that he helped with your ascension.
Yes.
Or... Yes.
It's part of the... Not using his term, not using the term that I give him as the Shadow, but an alliance of shadows that included him and the Mother of Shadows, which is not related to him at all, of course. But, she kind of, seems to falter for a moment, trying to put it into words, into speech that mortals can understand. And others. There was a god of death then who needed to be removed. And he, the Shadow, had his theories on how to deal with it, and I was part of the alliance that came to deal, and I was the one who ascended.
And what did this god of death at that time have a name?
The name is no longer important. It's that particular god of death has been completely destroyed, and all that godly that godliness is now mine.
He was fired. Essentially. Fascinating. And God can technically die, Ralph.
May I ask a
Right
question?
at the moment, by the way, guys, nothing anybody's currently saying in chat is going to be regarded as anything anybody's actually saying. You have to say it out loud for me to respond to it. So,
Yeah.
because this is a role play. This particular session, when everybody was in the room, it was okay that people were typing and back and forth, and then people responding to stuff But when there's just one of each character, we're just going to go with you have to talk out loud for it to be actually in session, if you understand what I mean.
All good.
May I ask a question?
Of course.
The reason why the eyes were burned of the victims. Do you know why?
That is a bit more of a difficult explanation.
Is it because the eyes are the window of the souls?
There is
As you
both
say,
a literal and figurative reason for that. Literally, the answer would be no, of course. But because figuratively works on different realms and different planes of existence, it reflects into the material plane in that sense. And becomes the catalyst for ejecting a soul from a body.
Huh.
It can also be, and she gestures with one taloned hand, something to do with some kind of angel form that cannot be viewed by mortal eyes, so that the mortal eyes burn out.
Miss? He Brothel puts up his hand.
Yes, child.
Do you know anything about my father?
She kind of seems to move past the rest of you guys. You just basically feel a bunch of birds around you for a moment, and suddenly she's in front of Ralthor and leaning over him rather than in front of the rest of you.
Brothel waves nervously.
But Bob just kind of scritches back into his hood because he's kind of standing nearby Ralthor. And the Raven Queen just kind of stares down at Ralthor. You have been twisted out of your normal fate. And there's something...
The fuck does that mean?
And and there's something wrong, something hidden. Perhaps it is the hidden light that did father you.
Fathered me?
That's a fancy way, and she doesn't know much.
She reaches down and just kind of pats his cheek lightly.
You see, when two people really like each other,
I know that.
Bob is kind
I
of
was
muttering.
not talking about the whereabouts of my father, but okay.
And she actually responded just to that. The ravens kind of move again and reform in front of the rest of the group.
Oh, I have a question. The one that... Well, Rhiannon here. We both know that something happened, don't we? To block communication. To block the divine. Of Daenerys. Do you know what that is?
It sounds like the same thing that has happened to the god of the giants. And has been happening to Bahamut as well. Someone is interfering with those who are trying to channel their divines. Is piggyback. I believe it is this same entity, and is piggybacking upon it to seal them, to diminish their powers.
Trying to bring the magics of the gods down. Interesting.
Already, the god of the giants has vanished. Bahamut has little power right now as well. And it sounds like Daenerys is soon to follow.
I would imagine the stronger your connection with your god, the more stronger the tether, the easier you could hang on to it.
And the easier someone with such power could use it to do something to them.
Gamel showed me the memory, and we talked to a high priest, and they still had connection, but I was unable to.
Yes. Perhaps one alone cannot be the connection for this, or break the connection. Perhaps it requires several, and you were just one point.
Guess that makes sense.
And the one that caused that light, apparently, that burned what we heard, is somehow connected to this.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think I know who I need to feed to Charles.
Are you feeding the light to Charles?
Maybe.
But
Darkness swallows the light.
that is the most stupidest thing I've ever heard Gamble say.
You've seen Charles. Do you want to disagree?
Ralph backs away a bit. Hides behind Bob.
Bob is still shrunken down, kind of like a turtle into his hood. He's got his cloak pulled around himself.
I know I'm asking many questions. I'm just trying to figure out all this, and she kind of motions around her body. If one was to kill or destroy one of the reflections, or I guess the original, would it destroy both of these reflected entities?
No. The reflections exist regardless. It is a question more to ask someone involved in time, rather than simply observing the threads of fate.
Who would have that knowledge?
There is no one that oversees time per se here in the majority of the realms. There is one of the worlds that I am not connected with, though. As while I am the goddess of death, I do not control every world. Some of them have their own gods unique to that world. And I have heard of one that does have a guardian of time that might have some answers, might not.
What is this world, and who is this entity?
I do not know the entity, I just know that there is such a thing. The world is called Alaris. Cricket, cricket.
Again, I was just gonna stare
Wait.
at the
We can hear crickets in here?
No, it's just that you guys
Well,
were
what do
very
you think the
silent.
dream is reading?
It's just you guys are so quiet.
I could imagine a cricket just jumping in behind us, you know. I mean, it is nighttime.
I don't know about any of you, but I really don't want to go reality hopping. I've already done it once.
Yeah, I'm good. I just don't want this one to fall apart. That's like
Yes,
enough.
that's my. It's too
I'm
interesting.
I'm quite attached to this world.
As am I.
Huh?
That is good to know.
Just fun looking off in the distance, coming back.
It's just fun. Anyone not really having the same sentiment here.
Yeah, I think if Phaedra was here, it'd be a little bit of a different reaction.
Hmm. So, any ideas where we can find or how to track down such an elusive foe?
Perhaps that is a question you should be asking everybody that you have in common, that Raven Queen informs you. And then she looks over towards what looks like, you kind of look off in the distance for a bit, and you see what looks like your interpretation of a vast spinning wheel of sorts. I will tell you this, though. If you continue to do next to nothing, and do not stop some of the things that have already been set in motion, many threads will continue to end that could otherwise continue on longer. Not unnaturally so, the way that the threads that we speak of were cut. Just the ones that you yourselves have, and your companions have potential to continue on longer.
Are you speaking of the gate?
No, I do not speak of the gate. I speak only of what's going on in your world.
Okay, that's good. I'm really tired of dealing with that gate.
Yeah, just a quick heads up. We have like 5 big troublesome things going on at the moment. We have the giant invasions. They're not happy. We have the bird gating. And now we have this. Like, any advice at all?
They're all.
How to handle?
And she says, I can figure just by looking at the threads that were cut that they're most likely connected, but only the traveler would know more.
So
Do
we
you
could
know
talk
where
to
best to
Trevor.
start?
Any
Yes.
idea where we could find him, her, it?
Rhiannon
No.
turns. It's Thorn.
Yeah, but where we can find her. Because she's been MIA for like a month now.
This is true.
Has she? Paul's just like, what?
Wait, the
Alright.
woman I beat at cards.
Yes.
Yes!
Oh,
Probably more accurate to say the woman who let you beat her at cards.
hey.
Now,
maybe.
now, don't take a win away from him.
Was my first time playing.
Beginner's luck.
You assume that.
What do you guys mean by Fawn? You don't know where Fawn is. Wouldn't you just use the coin?
Dude, it's been like a month. Catch up.
Excuse me.
Thorn was
Memory
proof,
gap.
and
Remember?
we can't find Thorn anymore. We go to her tavern, she's not there. We can't find her, she's MIA. She's apparently a traveler, whatever Rhiannon said. I don't know. I'm confused about Thorn as
traveler.
well at this point. We're just lost. Razor Queen, would you have any idea how we could find her?
That is always the question. That is essentially the god of chaos. You never know where the traveler might be, or who the traveler might be.
So no, okay.
Oh. Here's a question. I remember hearing a name before we left. What was it? Galen. Is that one tied into this?
Common enough name. I will need more to go on.
Not Galen Cole, apparently. Shipping company, I heard? I don't know.
Galen Cole, the CEO of Cole Shipping.
That one.
The Raven Queen kind of like seems to tilt her head again. She kind of like puts out a clawed hand, made up of all the raven talons, and there seems to be something forming in there. It looks like a ball of yarn almost. She's peering down at it as it glows. How odd. Perhaps this is the one being hidden by them. Their thread is missing. And the ball just kind of vanishes from her hand.
Looks like we found our lead.
Okay.
So, how do you get?
Like your job.
Sorry, I apologize. I didn't quite hear that. Did you say do you like your job? Is that what you said?
Yeah, Ralph said that.
Once again, she appears at Ralthor's side, just kind of like flowing around as a bunch of ravens, and reforms into the more humanoid self, and reaches down to pat him on the head. I like it just fine, and I do it far better than the one who had it before me.
How do you fail your job? Is that even possible?
Yes, quite possible.
I mean, it's just killing someone, right?
Mhm. No one's invaluable, Rafa. No one.
Wait, are we even going to be safe in getting out?
That has been yet to be determined.
I mean, I think the goddess of death would have had an easier way to kill us than to lure us here, if I'm honest.
Besides,
You hear what sounds like a bunch of birds laughing at that point.
besides.
I mean,
she
technically
wants us to
speaking.
stop this.
Wait, she does?
I missed that, I'm sorry.
She goes, besides, she wants us to stop this.
And Ratha was just like, wait, she does?
Facepalm.
Second that.
Third that.
Bob is just looking around all confused at this point. He doesn't know to facepalm or not.
The god of death doesn't want fate to be unraveled completely. Especially when the one doing this is targeting gods themselves. And the gods can't
Flashbacks.
do nothing about it.
Flashbacks to our one shot. You mean that sort of entity? Fawn
You don't
would
remember.
know about this.
Yep,
You
no one
Oh,
remembers.
wait, you don't remember.
Nobody
Oh,
remembers.
god damn it.
You don't remember either. None of us do.
Yeah, no one remembers.
Shit!
It's fine.
Wait,
No, it's
what?
not.
So I just got a random item and I don't even know how I got it. That's great.
Yep,
Yep.
basically.
And in Fawn's case, nothing happened because I imagine that it was only the stuff that got upgraded. It's like,
I kind of
Just
like
has
that
his
no
mom.
one remembers because they all forgot something which I like they would have forgotten.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
A certain
Granted,
statue?
job done.
Maybe.
No, I mean you still wouldn't know anything.
I know. I know.
But like I said, the gods can't do anything in this regard. They're very... No. Honestly, I don't feel they're much no different than you and me. They have their limits. Just their limits are different.
That is very true, Galmil. The Raven Queen agrees with you. Congratulations.
Oh my god, she's mad as well. Well, are we about done here?
Do you have any more questions for me before you leave?
Oh, can you destroy an item?
What kind of item do you wish destroyed?
A very bad sigil from a demonic god.
One of my chief enemies, Orcus.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Another thing the Shadow and I agree on.
I was gonna draw a face on it, but I don't really want to anymore.
What?
One last question: do you have like any idea how you could restore people's memories?
oh yes, that would be very nice.
Yes,
No.
please. Wait, James isn't here.
But Fawn's memory also needs to be restored, so...
Yeah,
True.
there's a
That's
lot of
special.
memories. Just leave James out of it; he'll figure it out.
This one. I forgot he
Mem-
forgot things.
Memory is not really my field. Mine is over life and death.
Isn't a memory a part of the journey between life and death?
It is the journey of life. Mine is between life and death.
Do you know who could help us with that?
That depends on how the memory was taken. And she looks over towards Fawn. Yours has been fate altered.
I'm sorry?
Some of your memory has been taken by fate, others simply by power.
Okay.
Oh,
So like mine.
remember how someone said that your bag there had letters that represented the same initials of Gillen Core, and he seems to be tied to this. Perhaps he's the one who screwed with your head a bit.
I think you're right, Gamel.
I am the smartest one I know.
I don't know. Maybe this death god chick is probably smarter than you.
I think it's about time that we leave.
The Raven Queen moves towards Will in the same flowing way that she has been before. And you, small one, have a question.
Yes. Do we have a problem?
She kind of looks him over. That depends on when you decide to take care of things.
You're putting it in my hands.
She pulls out a small tangled knot with several threads hanging down off of it. None of them look particularly long, but, some are shorter than others. And says that depending on your choices, it might come sooner than later. But some of these shorter ones will enable others to have longer.
Hold on, is that my tangled mess?
Then she makes it vanish again without saying anything about it.
Naughty,
Rhiannon-
naughty.
Rhiannon is wide-eyed, staring at Will, like between like the little gnome and then the Raven Queen, and the little gnome and then the Raven Queen, just back and forth.
Well, if there ever was a lifeline, that one is very fitting. I'm satisfied with that answer, I guess. And I turn to the group. Any more questions for the Lady of Death?
Nope.
Is my father still alive?
That is a good question, Valen. Her father passed some time ago.
Well, alright. I'm out of questions.
Something
Is
I haven't.
something you wish to understand, Rhiannon?
Something I haven't really asked. But this celestial being that I had an encounter with questioned. And she gets like a little fidgety with like the bandages on her knuckles. Do you know who my parents are?
She kind of looks down. Of course.
Are they alive?
Yes.
Who are they?
That is for you to discover. I only keep the threads.
Alright. I have nothing else.
What does my thread look like?
She reaches... once again, she appears by Ralthor and reaches over and pats him on the head.
Waves. Ralph kind of likes this person.
I'm pretty sure I know what mine looks like.
Mine's probably gold.
Mine's wrapped with another.
Wait, Gamil's two people at once?
He looks to his right. You could say that.
Bob is...
Did you eat someone?
Bob at this point hides behind Ralthor because he is frightened.
I thought say Bob behind Bob, not in front.
They just keep switching places. Don't worry, Bob. I don't bite.
No, he just puts you in a coma.
I didn't put anyone in a coma. I just feed him to Charles.
Excuse me, you put me in a coma.
I made you laugh. That's not a coma.
But last
I
time we
could put
were
you
in the
in a coma.
graveyard, you did put me in a coma.
He just spins this game. But I won't, because I like you.
No, out of character, you've already done that, by the way, Gamil.
Did he put you in a coma? I thought he just made you laugh.
No, in the graveyard it was he was practicing
right.
that
No,
death
it was in
thing,
heaven.
and then
I put him
later,
to feign death.
and then, and then later you did the same to Beast. So that was to try to sneak into the cult headquarters. But by that point, James had already given the game away.
Oh, right. That's a fun spell. It's a good party trick.
Chris, in character, no one knows. In character, no one knows that went down. You know that, right?
Gamma doesn't. He's also not able to feed anyone's minds from Nine Roses unless given permission by certain merchants. Or an emergency. Dire situation. Well, anyone else have questions for our individual here?
No, I felt like I've asked a lot.
And so everyone is good, and everybody is starting to feel like they're moving back towards the door, even if they're not actually physically moving.
Even though that
Maybe
I
next
didn't
time we'll
really
bring tea.
Why would you bring tea?
As the rest of you are retreating without moving, the Raven Queen bows her head down towards Rhiannon.
Oh!
As the rest of them kind of vanish back to the outside without actually taking a step anywhere, the Raven Queen kind of leans down towards you. You should be careful of the Shadow. He might have convinced you to sign yourself to him, but you should be careful.
I did it to protect others. I know he is evil.
Do you know what he is beyond
Gimel.
that?
No. Tell me.
He is a lich. He is undead.
I feel so confused with everything going on. I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know these powers that these people talk to me that I have. The only seam of connection that I have is with this entity that I loathe. And I don't know what to do. The only thing that keeps me sane is drinking, so I forget.
That is on him as well. You've tapped into his madness.
Is there a way to end this tether without, I guess, causing his wrath?
That is yet to be seen. He is quite dangerous. Once I became a god, I understood that. I knew it only from an intellectual perspective, but I saw no more danger in him than I did with the Fae Queen that I was allied with. But once I ascended, I saw the danger in him. Tried to end it, but he still found his ways.
He manipulates many of us. We have lost party members stuck in the Feywild, played with some dice of his, and was completely contorted and mutated into something different.
He observes the chaos and tries to make sense of it. It was always in his way.
I appreciate your guidance. My guard is up with him. It always has been, regardless of this reflected new self or old self, whatever this is.
That is a harder thing to understand. There are those who have tried a full understanding of it and have had their souls become shreds and tangles. You met one of such once.
Who is that?
The one that you met in the Darkspear Castle. Or Dragonspear Castle. I can never remember the name of it offhand, I'm sorry.
Oh, so the
Aleph.
right
She's referring to the Aleph.
Yeah, okay, yeah, in the library.
Yeah. That is the result of one who has a mortal who has gained knowledge beyond what they can handle. And the full understanding of my words might be the same to you and to them. And she indicates the rest of your party.
Wait. Oh, wait. You said a mortal who has gained knowledge beyond its capability. Is it possible that this man opened the gate, or tried to, at some point? Darius.
The gate, if you're referring to the Gate of Knowledge, it has not been opened since it was created.
Okay.
If it had been, the gods would be free.
The gods are trapped behind the gate.
No. Well, in a way, we're all trapped behind the gate. There is something in between the gates, and then there is something beyond. I did not know this until I ascended. Was not aware that the gods did not exist. The reason why the old god of death went mad is the gods were never supposed to be this close together in a way. You see the planes as infinite, but they are not. They are only a tiny fraction of what they really are, because everything is trapped behind the gates. The gate of knowledge might hold a prisoner behind it, but it is also that which holds the rest of us in prison behind the rest of the universe.
Would that explain why things are compounding?
I believe so, yes.
She nods.
But it is dangerous knowledge to try to fully understand it. Know this, though. The keys to the gate cannot be touched by any god, even the one that made them. And with that, you get suddenly pushed back out with the rest of your party.
He's
So,
probably like.
guys,
Welcome back.
all of a sudden, you are now standing back in the graveyard. You're standing looking at a really tiny little shrine, and a couple of ravens sitting on top of it.
Can I pat a raven?
They are well above your head. And with that, we will take a 5 to 10 minute break.
Okay.
Urza. This is fine.
Like that we have things on the map, like here's the cult thing that we eradicated. Here's the silverite that is closed.
Hey, look, it's where I want to go. I mean, what?
You know.
And then there used to be, hey look, there's a dead body.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that used to be there. It's not there no more.
This up here in north is now the west is now the dead zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fun fact. The body was that was there was food.
Yeah.
Nom nom.
Charles
what?
was hungry.
How did you find the body?
Someone told him about it.
Oh. Also, there's a castle on the map here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Used to be a castle there.
It does have, you know... It did burn, so it's still fine.
It's not
Just,
all.
you know, a couple of minutes with mending.
Yeah, player knowledge. Somebody made a deal. Gamble to get rid of the body. It's fine.
What's this out here? Does anyone know?
What's
North, west, rather.
maybe like a lighthouse.
The docks.
Pretty sure this is the docks. What's this building?
I would imagine like a lighthouse because it's a bay.
Or it could be one of those storage shed thingies.
Oh, what's this little cluster of buildings?
That almost looks like a boat.
Very big boat. It's bigger than the castle.
You know, not wrong there.
it,
No.
it-
So
it looks like it has docks, and it's like a roundabout with houses along it. And in the middle.
This could have been just one whole land until waves came in or something. I don't know.
well, that is the ocean over there.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's
Yeah.
true. I mean, it could have been like cut off at some point, like because there is like island, like land masses right here that could have been eroded off for some reason.
You know, the earth changes.
It
you know?
does. But does favor and change.
Yeah, we could ask Gris, where are the plates on this planet? Like, how do they shift? Where's earthquakes?
Plates.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's not
Yeah,
bring up
I know
earthquakes.
science.
She must have planned for this, surely.
I'm here. What did I miss something that you were saying while I was,
No,
while I was
We
at
were
the bathroom?
talking about Earth. We were talking science things.
Science.
And these two places here. That one and that one.
Oh, on the top, yeah. Just looking at the map.
Hmm.
Cleo.
Bored people things, you know?
Do you want to go? Okay, yeah. You're back.
Yeah, I want to go. Where are we going?
So what the fuck? I didn't know about the Bell of the Sea and Tackle and Pull. What the fuck are those places?
The Tackle and Pull was the place that you guys went and bought, like, or rented the the cart and the horses from, the ones that died from the fireball.
I wasn't involved.
Most of the party was.
Hopefully the place burned down.
The fire was in the castle and bits of the Lord's Enclave. It actually wasn't that bad, but
What's the Bell in the Sea? Is that like a tavern?
hold on. Let me look at my notes. I'm on break, so I was looking at something real quick. Let's see. I had a listing. Let's see what I have listed here. But it's been like, a couple. What is it? 2 months maybe since we were here. So my paperwork is a little out of order. Let's see what we got. Stuff on Galen. Some NPC information. Here we go. General Goods Store is the Bell of the Sea.
Oh.
And it's run by a female tiefling with cow-like horns. Leary. Her name is Leary Gulliver. Got a lot of notes, says GM. Woohoo! So, how you guys doing?
We're doing good. I think we're just waiting for the shuttle.
Do you guys like my version of the Raven Queen? What'd you guys think?
Ralph, I like so.
Fascinating.
But yeah, real life, I hate it when people like, why did the god of death have to take this person away?
Yeah, well,
And I'm like,
the gods
even if there was a god of death
that's not what the
in
god
real
of,
life,
That's not what the God of Death does, though. The God of Death doesn't take somebody away. They try to protect the soul of the person that's died. Is what happened. Is what the God
yeah,
of Death
and then
does.
take him to the other world.
Yeah. The God of Death doesn't actually
It's
kill
not
them.
God's fault. It's not God's fault.
Yeah.
God damn. It's...
Mm-hmm.
So, since since Shuttle's currently AFK, what do you guys wish to plan on doing at this point, in terms of where you wish to go next and such? Because it's like 3 in the morning for your characters. The fires are being put out. Do you have a plan of what you wish to do?
Jim Branson, probably going to bed.
Yeah, we'll probably go to bed.
Alright, person who just messaged me, make sure to roll a GM stealth check. Just write /GM roll, and then, one, dot space 1d20 plus whatever your stealth bonus is.
Bad in research.
I'm gonna metagame and follow that person. No.
Welcome back.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Back to things. So, you guys are currently standing right outside the shrine. It's now a tiny, tiny little room, basically, sitting in front of you. With, just a few flowers, some raven feathers, some coins, along with the coin that Ralph put in there. It could barely fit one person. It's basically just meant as an offering space.
Ralph puts down another gold coin.
Beast goes to the tavern he's always been sleeping at and go sleep. No, he's gonna go to the mansion because he needs a room to lock himself and Quincy up. So I'm pretty sure that won't be a good idea to bring to the tavern. So I'm going to the manor for the first time in a long while.
I can't. For some reason, it won't let me whisper you. Person who's whispering me. Sorry. But yeah, none of the taverns would let you have the bear, the thing that's dressed like a bear, wandering around.
They can't bear it.
Even just a bear is cause for alarm. But yeah, the fact that it's not a bear would make it even worse for them.
They don't know.
Oh my god, a displacer beast! Oh no, wait, it's just a bear. Oh my god, a bear!
Oh, that's a great place to sleep, Will.
Assuming Rhiannon's heading back to the manor, that's where Galmo's going, basically.
If everybody wants to roll a perception check to find out something about somebody, you can roll it, or you can GM roll it if you want. But keep it safe.
Galmo does keep it look around, always.
Roll for
He's
what?
looking for
Sorry.
things to- Oh shit!
I know.
Sure, I guess I'm taking that.
Okay, so the majority of you, anybody that rolled above a 17 or higher, notices that Ralthor, as you guys are walking back towards the manor, Ralthor diverged off towards the south, heading into the Chasm District.
Galmo doesn't stop it.
I'll let him. I need to stop him.
Beast will follow Ralph or. And I'll go, look, Ralph, what are you doing?
Just going to buy some potions.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I
I'll
think
sleep
this.
at the door.
That's a.
You know what?
Anxiety.
I'll trust you. You can go on your own. I don't want to
Ralph.
interrupt that deeply personal moment you're gonna have.
Galmo is just like holding an illusion of a certain tiefling.
It might be better to go in the morning, Ralthor, but if you want to go now, be safe.
No, maybe he'll get invited to stay over.
This is true.
So,
But what will Bob think?
Rhiannon's going back.
Bob is already heading back.
Rhiannon, Galmo's heading back as well.
Okay, so Ralthor is heading is alone down to the Chasm District. Alright, Chasm District, and you notice that this place is actually a lot more active than the others. I mean, the other places, like the guards, have run off to deal with the castle stuff. The people in the Temple District had gone up that direction as well, to deal with the people getting hurt. But as you head into the Chasm District, you notice that a lot of people are actually up and outside, kind of chatting in groups going, do you know what's going on? I don't know what's going on. Did you have that weird dream too? Yeah. Did you feel it? Yeah. And as you come through, they kind of look, some of them start looking over towards you and say, hey, did you get woken up too?
Ralph will just stare blankly at them, blink for a moment, and was like,
By the way,
that dream the same or something?
By the way, Ralthor, roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
Ah, shit.
As you start talking to them about this, you just suddenly realize just how tired you are. It's 3 a.m. You've been on the road. You've been fighting. Your adrenaline has finally crashed after all this. You nearly fell asleep in the alcohol to begin with, but now you're so tired, there's no way you can make it back to the Windstar Manor. You're probably just going to end up sleeping in a doorway right now.
I'm guessing he's just going to fall straight to the floor going to sleep, I'm guessing, right in front of their eyes.
Yeah, one of the people we're talking to runs over and, props you up, but other than that... So
I'm sleeping.
Yeah, we'll pick up with you later.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that happened.
That didn't last long.
Mm-hmm. It sure was a quickie.
Oh my god.
Somebody smacked them.
Oh no! This has been going on in this chat. Whatever y'all were doing down there, this is the mindset we're at right up here.
That's what I was saying. You guys need to be smacked.
Poor Bob, left by the wayside.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Bob's okay.
Smack me.
Poor
Bob's okay.
Or did he join in?
Remember, my heart's not at Bob's. He's just a cool guy that Ralph likes as a friend.
He's just a thing to me.
Damn it,
Right.
Will.
Oh, lordy lord.
Tobias, you hurt me sometimes.
I do, yes.
Oh, there's Will. Alright, so...
Hey, you found me? What? That's not supposed to happen.
I was just moving tokens around to relative thing. Yeah, Aki is just kind of pacing about at this point. As you guys get back, he's kind of left the Windstars alone, chatting with Phaedra and Shiori, apparently. Does anyone wish to do anything before they sleep?
That decision roll, yes.
Find the room with the lock.
Well, rooms are on the second floor. Well, most of the bedroom type things are on the second floor here.
Well, you know what the Winstars are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And there'll be... That beast, move out of that room.
Nope, too late.
I was going to that room.
Too late. Quincy has already marked his territory. Too late.
He peed all over the nice room. What the heck?
I haven't house trained him yet, you know.
Not my house, not my problem.
No. Come on, let me keep moving
Yo-
these.
Your room is over here, man. This is Adler's room. It's fine. I don't know whose room this is.
I imagine it's like it has
that's
those
right.
children's letter toys on the door that just says Adler.
Then
In the direction.
I'll be nice and I'll move over here. I'll lock it up in this room.
Wow.
No, I'll let it sleep with me in the bed. Let's cuddle. Man, are the Winsters having some fun over there? All four of them.
Mischievous Fox is also loving this, by the way.
Yeah, Shori's gonna have a conversation whenever a moment happens. It's calm.
Vader made a pot of tea, so I imagine they're just chilling, sipping tea.
Ratho's dreaming about tea.
Oh, always drinks tea.
Is he really dreaming about tea or something else?
Yeah,
Let's be real. Yeah, you'll find out later.
We prefer our version.
We prefer our version. God damn it.
I'm just gonna let you guys
Thirsty
know
tea fling.
nothing happened.
Well,
Not
yeah.
in my mind, it
that,
didn't.
With that roll, we know.
Oh.
I think he
I mean-
passed out in the streets.
Bob is right here.
He's really close. Passing out on the streets.
Oh my
Greatest
God.
thing ever. Reminds me of childhood memories.
Just in a gutter in the middle of the road. It's fine.
Yes, that gutter looks comfy.
Prank.
Speaking of which, Rhiannon, please give me a Constitution saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's
Oh.
about time! Because I've been drinking this entire. 1 second.
Oh, if it's only that, that's fine. You know who is still alive, right, Chris?
Mm.
Yeah, Rhiannon, you
Oh.
just barely make it up to the room you've been staying in before you pass out on the bed.
At least she makes it to the bed.
That's a bonus.
Weird.
Now, what about alive here, Quentin?
How is you know who doing? I don't know why I'm being so secretive.
I don't know who
it's
you're talking
James.
about.
It's James. Who else?
James is at the library. He didn't
Yeah.
leave.
Is he doing fine?
He
You said creepy things were happening at the library, Grizz.
No,
I've been worried for this past 2 hours.
He's dead.
No, they were happening at the library. They were the people at the library were being alerted to what was going on at the castle. And since the library is actually a temple, they were gathering people together who needed who could heal to send them out towards the castle. That's why they couldn't help you.
Oh, that's why I didn't go. Okay. I misread that. I thought things were barking at our door, Grizz.
Sorry.
Man, this place has a lot of windows.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of windows.
Alright. I got my sheet up now. This is fine.
All right. So, who shall we go investigate first in terms of the people here?
That's up to you.
Phaedra and Shiori, since they're the only ones grouped together before we go to sleep and wake up on the first of fading.
Fading.
Technically, it is the first of fading right now. It's the name of the month or the nickname of the month.
Is it autumn now?
What?
Is it autumn now?
No, because the last one was High Sun.
Okay.
It's not quite autumn yet, but it's starting to get towards there.
I hear a train.
Alright.
So
Just
Phaedra
randomness from my side.
and Shiori, what are you two doing?
Doing some more tea.
Sure. I wanted to say some things because finally I'll calm down a little bit.
Are you alright? What's wrong?
Yes. Well, I know you always like to protect others, and I appreciate it. I love that about you. You're a protector. I don't want that to change, but you don't think about yourself. You are more willing to sacrifice yourself for anything else. And you told me not to sacrifice myself, so now I'm doing the same for you.
I never. You're right. I never think. Hell, I just, unleashed a geyser in a burning castle and ended up under rubble. Like, I just don't think before I act. I don't. But I feel like, not that my life's not important, but just everything that you've been through. I mean, I feel like yours is more important.
It's been a rather short period of time, has shown me again and again that every day can be a last day. Not a concept I thought of a lot until recently.
This last month has been not the best for me.
Things for a moment. Because of how short things can be, I took stock of what was important. And the more I took stock, honestly, the less and less important my vendetta was in comparison to other things.
What other things?
People. You. Our recent days have been full of, well, they were just ugly and full of fear and sorrow. So I started to draw something. I wanted to capture something beautiful and full of bravery and happiness. She grabs into a small pouch and pulls out a parchment, and she's going to hand it to Phaedra. And I think I did just that. And that's that handout. I don't think I can
Added.
share it. Okay.
Chris, are you gonna respond to my question?
Sorry, you asked me that right as I was getting the handout together.
Yeah, sorry.
I this I didn't know you could draw.
I'm not the best, but
This is beautiful. Can I go ahead and make that my token? Cool, thank you. Well, I told you the other day, before I left for Lawgrass, what you meant to me. I don't want to sacrifice my life. I just want to protect yours. Because you mean the world to me. You are my world. I know nothing else of this world except for you.
Honestly, the more I almost lost you, the more I realized how truly painful that was. I mean, losing any of the IRAs versus hurts a lot. Because, like I said, they're like a new family to me, but really losing you hurt more, and I didn't know why until more recently. Even she does. She'll reach for your hand.
She's not going to stop you.
And she will repeat the motion that you did, where she kissed the back of your hand.
Immediately, her eyes go blue. You told me that the choices I've made since I've met you are what define me, not what I have done in the past. And every day, I've been a little more forgiving of myself. Because of you. And you told me my place is where I want to be and what I make of it. And where I want to be is I want to be by your side and with you. If you will have me.
Of course. She'll, with that, she'll take the one, the silver amulet with the opal, and she'll hand it to Phaedra. Just smiling.
Phaedra blushes. Are you... okay.
Well, if you wish.
Always. And she'll put it around her neck. And Cinder, as I imagine, comes up in between the two of them and is just sitting and just like tongue out, happy, like she's reading into Phaedra's emotions and Shiori's, and is like looking back and forth and just is like a happy, like puppers kind of look on her face. She's just very, very
That's
happy
cute.
right now. Yeah.
We're all the aw.
And I have to say something out of character. I assume that this is Fox's doing. Fox,
Yes, it is.
I love it so much, and I know you're in chat, and I adore you. Thank you. So thank you. I love it. I'm going to make a token, and I absolutely adore it. I needed a moment because I fucking started crying.
Aww. And while Phaedra and Shiri are having a very nice moment, Galmil has just opened his door because he heard a knock, and he sees Adler standing on the other side.
Greeting.
Great. I'm sorry for waking you,
I
Galmil.
wasn't asleep yet.
Okay. I was wondering, do you have a Fawn's coin?
Kind of thinks for a moment. Yes. I still have one. I can get you one back.
Can I borrow it for a bit?
May I ask as to why?
Fawn came up with an idea,
I
and and we need the coin for the idea.
He's just staring at you.
So
What's the idea?
it's mainly to try and contact the Traveler.
You keep an eye on him, won't you?
I will. I promise.
Make sure he doesn't do anything I wouldn't want him to do.
I don't know what that entails, but sure.
Betraying any of my friends.
That I'll definitely make sure he doesn't do that.
He extends a hand.
Adler will extend his hand to.
Shakes your hand. And in exchange for that, I will let you borrow the coin. The deal is made. And
Very
he holds
well.
the coin up for you.
Thank you. He'll take the coin and make his way back to his room.
Interesting.
Rhiannon, roll a perception check with disadvantage because you're half asleep.
Yeah, and drunk.
I mean, I'm in heavy armor. Haven't exactly donned off my heavy armor yet.
Clank!
Pretty much.
Yeah, unfortunately, Rhiannon's too asleep. The imp,
Hey,
of the imp
I'm
is
in the
cra-
room next to it. I'm also in the room next to it.
No, you're
Don't I
not.
hear it?
No, you're too far away. The imp is trying to feebly to poke her, but she's not waking. Yeah.
And yeah, Adler will do what's necessary for contacting the Traveler.
Alright. Are you going to fully open the tavern door, or are you just going to use it as a focusing object?
Just use it as a focusing object.
Okay. Roll a 1d100 for me.
A 96?
It's in the wrong way.
Ralph, after all those teasing they did to you, you have to get it took him a moment. Anyway. Alright. So, the four of you kind of like stand around in a little bit of a square with the coin in the middle. And Adler just has some things prepared. It's not his religion, but he knows so much enough about that, this sort of thing might attract some attention. And,
Enough? That you mean a lot?
it just kind of instructs his brothers to move around at random patterns, but kind of keep their distance away from that coin, keeping it in the center. And as you guys kind of do this weird interpretive, drunk club dance sort of thing, eventually the lights in the place kind of dim a bit, and it seems like there's a shape forming in the center over that coin space.
Spoopy.
Oh, it worked. I didn't expect this.
And the shape kind of looks like an elderly elven gentleman with a really long beard for some reason that's hanging all the way down, a purple cap, and a red kind of cloak kind of around them without a hood, just a long red, purple pointed cap with 2 bells attached to it. They're going, huh? What do you want? The form says.
Fun will speak up.
Floating there in the middle.
Say, by any chance, are you the traveler?
Someone can call me yet. What do you need? You looking for something?
Yes. I heard that from the. I heard from the Raven Queen that you might know a bit about memory.
Ah. Well, memories. And he kind of strokes his beard and twitches one of his tall ears. Yes, I know a little bit about that.
Are you able to return someone's memories?
Oh, that should be easy enough. Why? What do you need for it? What will you give me for that?
Just looks around for a bit. What would you want for it? I'm not sure.
The elderly looking elven gentleman in the middle of the grins wide when you say that. Oh, not too much. I know what I'm going to do. Don't worry about it.
I'm worrying about it.
Then why did you leave it open?
Because I know not what you would care about.
Kind of ticks his finger back and forth. Oh, that's funny. And people on the first floor, roll perception check.
Oh, good.
Does the tree count?
Joy. Does the tree count?
No, just it's in the house.
Is it bad that I was about to roll perception check?
Ah!
The house disappeared!
No, I was just trying to delete something because it's no longer there.
What you talked about? There is no house.
Cinder, you suddenly look around and all the windows in the particular room that you're in open and close with a bang.
Head goes up, immediately looks around, like taps Phaedra on the shoulder.
Well then.
What was that?
So meanwhile, the thing in the Windstar room is still looking at you and then looks over towards Fawn. I take it she's the one that needs help right now?
Yes. Fawn says.
Ah, wonderful,
Indeed.
wonderful. Well then, shall I help you and extract my price?
Please. What is the price?
Oh, you said that was up to me.
Before I say yes, I do need to know what.
Nope, that's not what you said. You said that you weren't offering anything. You asked me what I wanted, and that is what I'm saying. I will restore this one's memory and take my price. But I will not tell you what that price is.
I hate you so much.
Why would my characters have a grudge against God?
just met the right god. It's fine.
As long as the price doesn't hurt anyone in
Well,
this
hurt is a relative term now, isn't it?
So what you're saying is it will do something to people in this house.
How
Or
about
at least
I'd
the first.
say that it will not kill anybody. Will that satisfy you?
Will it injure anyone in any way?
To injure means to remove, to render things correct that require injury, blood, unless we're talking mental.
Or mental.
If he gets his memory back, he will be mentally wounded. Therefore, the thing is null and void.
You know what? Fawn's just like, you know what? Yes, go, whatever. I think.
Alrighty then. He claps his hands together. Puts his hands on either side of Fawn's head and says, "Remember, Fawn, roll me a 1d100." And a 1d2.
100. 1d2.
Alright. And when he takes his hands away, you feel less than yourself. You're still he. However, your ears have somehow shrunk a bit. And you feel...
I didn't care about my size.
You feel less elvy.
No, not another one of this. One of my characters are already different.
You're now... Fawn, you're now a half-elf.
Oh, okay. That's not as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
Hey Chris, when can I saw the whisper?
Yeah, I saw the whisper. I don't know what
I'm
we're
very
talking
much
about today.
interested. I'm very much interested.
You've already got a character on that path, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Well, does Fawn at least remember?
Yes, Fawn remembers everything, and now realize he's a half-elf. Nothing else about him has changed. He's just now a half-elf. His ears are smaller. He looks less
I don't
elfy.
really.
He looks kind of human-y, like his mom had an affair with a human. Thankfully, he is still the same physical age that he always appeared. If if humans were judging the age, because or else he'd probably die of old age right there in front of you.
Yeah.
At this, the figure in front of you vanishes. The coin is still there, and it looks like the deal has been complete.
Fawn's just like, well, I consider that a good deal. Don't you? Adler's just like, we can only. I'll only say it was a good deal if as long as nobody else was hurt. If you're fine with, half elfish, then yes. Now, excuse me, I'll have to hand this coin back. Adler then picks up the coin and goes back over to Gamel's room.
The door opens.
Knocks. Well, thank you for letting me borrow the coin. Adler gives you back the coin. Have a good sleep.
No problem.
Alright. Alright. And everyone's going to go to their own rooms now.
Alright. Does anybody have anything else they wish to do for the evening?
For the evening.
Or research. I want to find my books, Chris.
Hey, Elmer, here's the last one. And then I'll leave you on.
Alright. So, at some point, while you're attempting to look through books, you hear a voice in your head.
Why, Chris? Can you just not?
Well, I'd ask you the same thing. In fact, that's actually what the voice is basically asking. Why are you not doing as asked? Why are you doing something else? You've had the information for a while now, and yet you have yet to get the box.
Maybe creepy ring. Maybe don't know where the fuck the box. What box? I don't know what box you're talking about. There's a shadow box. That's
Yes,
pretty obscure, my friend.
you were told to talk to your guild. They have it.
What? Who has it?
Your guild. The old one.
Who? The old one. Who is? Oh, the creepy guy. Yeah. No offense, but I'm pretty sure I would prefer to find out what the hell my ring says before I do creepy favors for a creepy person I never met. No mistaking. I'm sorry.
Oh, well.
I've been
I
kind of
was-
screwed over the last
was-
few times.
The voice just kind of chuckles musically. It says, I was trying to help you. You might want to remember that. Oh well. You've made
what's
your choice. And then the
Wait,
voice
wait,
retreats
wait,
from your
wait,
head and you
wait,
feel
wait,
steering
wait, wait,
data
wait,
above your
wait,
head.
wait. Really? Really? Okay.
Honestly, I tried to help as much as possible.
Chris!
Every
I've
time-
been asking for the past 5 sessions. Just let me know what the thing says.
You don't. It's not written in a language you understand. I said.
Yeah, that's why I've been in a library for 5 days trying to find
No.
a translation book.
No. I said that until you put the ring on. You said you did not put the ring on until
I put the ring
30th,
on last session.
which was the 30th. Which
what-
was for the 30th. Which you then went to the library. At which point things were being disrupted around because of the attacks. Before
Why is he
that-
angry at me? I've literally had the ring on for 30 minutes. Why is he raging at me then?
Yeah.
Chris.
Never mind. It's just. Sorry. Anybody gonna say anything?
I got nothing. Shori's went. Majors went to room. Gamo's just. Wow, he's being Gamo. I think he's trance, and then he's going to do something. What is he going to do? I need to make a decision die. It's fine.
Ratho can't really do anything.
Vader might say something after the camel thing.
Well, his won't happen until 4 hours. So. Go ahead.
Because we're getting everybody into long rest, so
Okay.
I can resolve
Well, they're-
things. So I'm trying to find out if anybody's doing anything else.
No, Phaedra's just gonna make conversation while they're walking up, and she's going to look at the amulet that, amulet that Shiori gave her. And she's just kind of look at it and like rub it, and she'll lean over. I know what this means to you, and I thank you.
Of
But I
course.
should let you know, you've had a piece of my heart for quite some time now, and you've kept it with you all this time.
Yeah, right. Right. It's still here.
I just wanted to let you know it's a tradition in my clan. But an exchanging of stones, it means something more. And I just thank you for this.
Of
And
course.
she'll ready for her bed and everything, and she'll just critical each one of this.
Let's see. It's 4 hours. He's just going to sit in front of the Baron's door. It's fine. I have an idea.
What?
Oh, you say
Sometimes
Viren or
Boros is really
Rhiannon?
creepy.
Sorry, I thought you said Rhiannon.
So just
Sorry, I thought you
Galmel.
said Rhiannon for a moment.
Nope. I rolled. I rolled for everyone's rooms. He's going to be creepy to hear, and it's fine.
Good thing I'm not in a room.
Yep.
So we're taking a long rest now? Or are we finished with it?
Yeah, this is our long rest. That's why I kept asking people if they were doing anything else.
Three
Yeah.
puns.
Yeah, you already said that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start off with Ralthor. At this point.
What?
The morning comes along,
Oh
and
my.
you find that you had fallen asleep in a doorway. Thankfully, you don't seem to be the only one. Other people seem to be waking up along the street. You know, they kind of look over at you and kind of give you a nod. And someone else goes, "Oh, that was some night last night. Ugh, that wave. That was so weird." And someone else comes by and looks at that and says, "Yeah, did you hear that the castle burned down?" I was like, "Whoa, the castle! Wow, the Lord Protector's dead then." Like, yeah, people seem to be gossiping all about that. But no one
A
is...
wave?
Yeah, somebody just mentioned a wave. That's all.
Ralph kind of speaks up in questioning voice. A wave?
Yeah,
What are you
yeah.
talking about in a wave?
The thing that woke everybody up. You know, it must have woken you up, right? That's why you're out here? We all got kind of woken up in the middle of the night, but by something coming out of everybody and coming up from the chasm. Well, from what used to be the chasm, from the water, and it just kind of flowed away, and then I don't know. Maybe that's when the attacks happened afterwards.
Ralph kind of shrugs and then mentions, you guys had some sort of dream?
If it was a dream, everybody had it. Someone else points out. Did you not? What are you doing out here then?
I came from a graveyard shift. Should I roll a
You can roll a
deception
deception.
check?
Yeah, sure. Roll a deception check.
There we go.
Yeah, they seem to be believing you. Wow.
So yeah, I didn't really get a chance to sleep. What was the dream like? What was the dream?
It wasn't really a dream. It was just kind of the wave. Everybody woke up, and there seemed to be energy or light or something flowing out from everybody, and it seemed to be heading, to the west. And wow, now we've heard that the castle was destroyed. I wonder if there's a connection. Somebody else says.
Ralph tries to play it off cool, but doesn't say anything about being there. What would Ralph do?
Is he gonna continue to head for high on the wall, or is he going to take this information and run back to the Windstar Manor?
So everyone had a beam of light coming from them, or was it just a straight
It
line
was
of...
more like a wave, somebody said. That's why I've been calling it the wave. It just kind of flowed out and undulated. It was weird. It was kind of like light or mist or something. Yeah, and a lot of it, someone else says, seemed to be coming up from the where the chasm was, where the water is, where the river. Down to the east.
I know where it is. Thanks for the information, by the way. I've got a couple of friends that could use this information.
Alright, that's good.
Ralphel won't actually head to the high on the wall. He's just gonna go back to the manor.
Okay.
Different type of stone.
Yeah, but still the same. That's why she said it.
Ralphel is going to make an entrance and slamming open the doors and yell out, "I'm here," in a really gay voice.
Wow.
Someone's coming out!
But reality speaking, Ralphel didn't really get anything. But yeah, he just screams out, "I'm here, come to me."
Using
Okay.
are you using anything to accentuate your voice or anything like that?
You have thaumaturgy.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Oh, no.
Everybody roll perception.
I mean, I'm next to the door.
Everybody.
Yeah, but Will, Elmore, you know this.
God, now I have 4 to do perception. Damn you!
Shiori's oblivious, but Phaedra notices. Fawn notices. Basically, if you get an 11 or higher, you notice you hear the "I'm here" from Malthor.
Oh, that's special. I need to change that. But
Nice.
it's okay.
God,
There's
I hope the important people come down.
next one.
Wait. Okay, who's not important then?
Biddies.
Go
That's
on.
Biddy. Sorry. That's supposed to be
Keep in
Biddy.
mind.
So Biddy
I
notices.
mean, like, people that would know about this sort of stuff.
And last but not least.
Vader will show
Okay.
Shiori now.
Literally everyone knows. This is awesome.
Yeah, Gamil's like the only one who doesn't, but Gamil's in front of Viren's door, so...
Gamel, I hope you're not directly in front because
And
Viren
of course, Shiori doesn't notice either, but Shiori's with Phaedra, and Phaedra
Phaedra
noticed, so...
Viren hears this
Well-
and
Let her know.
he just opens his door.
Open outwards, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Then he wouldn't be. He'd be just far enough that it wouldn't hit him. Sup?
Good. Because that would have hurt.
Just Calmo saying sup.
You know what?
Fire.
Downstairs. Follow me. Just had enough of Gamil. Nothing new.
So, Malthor, pick a room, a large room to host everybody. And I'll move the tokens there.
And as we go across,
Huzzah.
Will is gonna follow Ralphal, in the ordinary manner.
It's Bob.
Jesus.
well, Will's gone.
Jesus
What
Christ, Will.
I like how he
Hang
picks
on,
a smaller room.
Yeah.
Vader
like-
will go downstairs.
Pick a room. Yeah, I'll choose the small room.
Yeah, it's a tiny room.
Oh, well. Yeah.
That's not a room.
That's the staircase.
It's still a place that people can gather at.
Fair enough.
What are you yelling about? What's up?
Oh,
Ralph grins.
why can't I? There we go.
Too
I am
many
on
wind stars!
Suddenly, Windstar.
There was a sale on Windstars. Buy
Uh,
two, get one for free.
is Fawn there too?
No,
Okay, Fawn's still in hiding.
you may have heard, but he's not interested.
Is it because it's Rothor?
No, because, you know, he's a bit more
Shame
tired
it
than
is.
usual.
Shadiness.
He no longer has the trance ability. He's not used to this.
Ah, yes, the first thing he learned is now a half-elf. He must sleep instead of
Yeah.
So, is everyone here? Is everybody ready for some news?
Well, everyone's not here, but go for it.
I like news.
Okay, so, on my adventure to go see my good old best friend, Alios, I ended up hearing people had a dream. And then I passed out. And then I woke up. Amazing story. When I woke up, there was people still talking about a wave of light that happened. It kind of... I'm guessing it kind of happened before we rolled into town? Into Neverwinter? I didn't get to see Peleos. I should have went to see Peleos. But I wanted to give you guys information first.
Phaedra will go up to Ralthor.
Hi, Faye.
You want to go see if he's okay? I'll come with you.
Definitely.
Okay.
I can
Ralph
perform
kind of
ceremony.
sweats a bit.
Phaedra glances over at Shiori and then at the madman, and then just kind of like cocks her head a little bit.
But also, shouldn't we be worried about this wave of light that came from a chasm?
Yes,
that
no.
used to be a
Oh,
chasm?
yes. Most
Yes.
definitely.
Yes, most definitely. Apologies. Yes. A wave of light. That's all they said.
Yes, Peleos is cool and all, but...
Right. Sorry. One track mind lightly. Apologies. So just a wave of light. They said nothing else.
And it woke everyone up at around 3 a.m. pretty much.
No, not 3 a.m. It was
No?
earlier than that. Most of them were still up talking about it, and then you fell asleep. They didn't actually
Okay.
say when.
You
Shit,
said
I should've said-
They had a dream too. What was the dream they were talking about?
It wasn't really a dream? Well, they thought it was a dream, but I don't think it was.
Explain more details.
Yeah, more, please.
Ralph grins. All I know is that there was a wave of light coming from the chasm and sweeping over the town. Is that right?
That's how you seem to remember it.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that was outside at 3 a.m. and they all seemed fine, so...
The same chasm, Will proclaims, appearing.
Bob was
From-
startled and backs into Aki by accident.
Oh, no, Bob!
From the which the corruption seems to be coming from, right?
Do you think that the corruption and the light have something to do together?
The Raven Cream was talking about the shadow and the light. Possible. I don't know. Rhiannon shrugs.
But yeah, other than that, I didn't really ask many questions. I mean, if we go back, we could probably ask more, but...
Hmm.
Hmm.
I'm not really one to interview people.
Phaedra says, I'm not the best with people either.
I'll go wandering around.
Ralph will pat Phaedra.
You're not that bad of people.
I guess that's right. She'll kind of smile.
So, what are we doing today?
I thought you just said what we were doing today.
Oh,
Well,
I said
investigate that, didn't
good.
you?
I want to check out the chasm.
Yeah.
Let's
I
go
would like
see
to
the
go there
chasm.
as well.
I'm gonna dive down.
No, bad.
Why not?
What?
A beam of light came out of that chasm and you want to go swimming in it?
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good idea.
What else do you suggest then?
We take a sample or something, and then we go see Peleus to see if he can find anything.
Sounds like an excuse to me.
I mean, he's the only potion maker in town that I know of.
Maybe I could just examine the sample and then we don't have to go see Peleus.
Ralph will kind of sighs a little.
Unless,
Looks down.
unless you really want to.
2 heads are better than 1.
Right.
Where did Phaedra go?
I was trying to upload my token, and apparently it got fucked.
Oh.
I think you need to update it or something, because
Yeah.
it's not working.
Yeah, mine just didn't update. So I don't know what the hell's going on with mine.
It updated down here, but
Yeah.
not in my thing. There she is. Thank you.
Yep, I just need to fix the token now. For the second time today. Okay.
Yep.
So, roll perception checks.
Wait, what?
Sir.
It wasn't me.
Ralph
Yeah.
definitely sees.
I'm just gonna do
Valthar, as you look around, addressing your companions, you notice that one of them is missing. And didn't come down to talk to you.
Isn't it technically 2?
I don't think he really knows Fawn or notices that Fawn is there or not.
Oh, well, Fawn
Yeah,
isn't.
Fawn's fun.
Yeah. Besides, there's so many other Windstars around, it's fine. He probably overlooked Fawn to begin with. No, but he would notice that Beast isn't there.
Guys, does anybody else notice that a big hairy man is in here?
Oh, yes, I noticed.
Beast, where did he go? Where's Fawn?
Yes. Turns to the other Windstars. Where is Fawn?
I would Adler. It's like I would imagine he's still in his room.
Oh, do we need to... Alright, I can go get him. Is he just reading?
If you want to. While you're up there, you might as well get Beast as well.
Okay.
I
Phaedra
can
will
get
go
Beast.
up. Okay. I will go get Fawn, and she walks upstairs.
I am so sorry, Fawn's not there, but
I remember what room Beast went into, since he keeps an eye on a lot of rooms.
Roll intelligence check.
Alright. Switch it to Kiamil.
No, offhand, you don't remember where he's at.
I know this one was Biddy's. It's not there.
And Phaedra's gonna knock on Fawn's door.
And there's no response. Complete silence in there, but you were staying in that room for a while.
Yeah. She'll open the door and look around. Fawn!
You don't see Fawn, but it looks like the bed has been slept in more than normal. I mean, it's been like that for, like, for you for a couple of days, but, it was kind of made yesterday because, the servants do that. And now it looks like it's been heavily slept in.
Yeah, she's not smart enough to put together those pieces.
Okay.
She's not. I don't even need to make a roll for that.
No roll needed. Not smart enough.
Nope. Not with a -1. Alright. This is odd. Okay, and...
We see Gamble just knocking at every door as he's walking back.
Having trouble, Gamel.
I don't remember which room was his.
Sorry.
I know this one was Viren's, because that's where he was in. That one I remember. Oh, a door down here.
She's looking downstairs.
Knock, knock.
Now comes the question of whether or not Quentin's actually here. No, here he is. He's sleeping.
Do I hear the snoring of a man? that is
Perception
a
check.
bear? The bear of a man.
Yes. You notice the
Double
sleeping of a
13.
bear man and the weird snuffling sounds associated with the displeasure beast he has with him.
I try the doorknob.
It's locked because I didn't want him to escape.
Alright. But I look under the door. And face up.
Yeah, I imagine there's enough of space underneath there, or there's a keyhole and you can use that.
If anything, I can just send my little familiar in there.
Tiny Tim!
And I'll unlock the door.
Gamble being creepy as usual.
And you know what? He's gonna turn into James.
Oh, fuck. Jesus.
Oh!
Beast?
Hey, you sound weird.
I'm glad you're awake. He's just back. Hello. You slept in. We were worried. You sure you lock your door?
I shouldn't lock my door and I point at my bed.
Yeah, you should. It needs to be locked. You didn't lock it. Madmen can just walk right on in.
I could throw Madman out of the window if I wanted.
And so can Charles.
Yeah.
But as long as you're okay, that's fine. Oh, by the way, Ralph has found a thing about the chasm making a big thing of light. That's fun.
Okay.
They're gonna go investigate. I'm gonna go wander around collecting more rumors on this dream and whatever else anyone else noticed. Do as you wish. Yeah, we'll end up walking back down toward where the group is for now. But he's probably gonna go off by himself. Go full NPC mode again.
Jim Branson.
Let's see if Shiori is actually noticed by this point.
So, what are the rest of you guys doing? Now that beast slumps into the room.
Fawn's missing. Or I don't know. He's not in his room. I don't know where he is. Does any of the Wind Stars know where their brother is?
What a surprise. Fawn is gone. Didn't see that coming.
No, the last I saw of him, he was returning back to his room.
Hmm.
Does he have any other places in the house that he likes to hang out in, other than his library?
Hmm. Not normally. He's usually just
At hearing
reading.
the words library, Bob's eyes actually pop wide and he slides his head out from under his hood. There's a library in here?
Yeah, Sherry and I were sleeping up there for a while. It's Fawn's
Can-
old room.
Can I see it?
I mean, this isn't my house, but I'll lead you there.
Please? I could use some more books.
I'm sure Fawn wouldn't mind as long as you don't, mess up the order of his books.
Phaedra
Bob
will
nods
whisper
rapidly.
something, to Cinder, and Cinder will fly over to Bob. Follow her. She'll lead the way.
Bob happily follows after Cinder.
And she'll take him up to the library. And gives him a lick on the cheek.
He wriggles.
And then she'll fly back down. Hold on. Did the thing happen last night, Fluffy?
No, the shock of white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phaedra, turns and looks at Shiori. Your hair.
Hmm?
And she takes her hand and, brushes across her bangs, moving the hair out of her face. It's white.
That's new. I wonder if that has something to do with last night.
You and Ralphor both had a very triumphant night. Being able to battle those that destroyed your past. I imagine you both overcame a lot.
She knows.
And also became a lovely little golden boy and looks over at Ralthor.
Ralpha deeply blushes.
Which terminology is news to the rest of you.
Wait, what?
Yeah. What?
Ralthor.
Hold up, I'm thinking really hard right now.
Don't hurt yourself, I do that sometimes.
While I was thinking about the light and how it's connected to the chasm, his hair starts to glow golden.
As do his eyes. His eyes also turn a bit gold.
Wow, that's fascinating.
He tilts his
Rather
head,
let's-
nodding in agreement.
Ratha lets out a huge sigh and goes back to normal and then starts heavy breathing.
It seems that when one faces their demons, literally, changes happen. He looks over at Ralthor and Shiori.
Everybody roll perception check.
Oh boy.
Hashtag shady biz.
Doesn't look like... Oh. Yeah. Doesn't look like anybody saw anything. You're good. Go on.
Wait, but I got a 24.
You did?
That means it's Will shenanigans if a 24 didn't happen.
You may notice that I roll for perception too.
That doesn't mean shit to me. I don't know. I'm just...
Well, okay, if you wanted to be like that, then okay.
No metagaming. You don't know out of character that you were rolling for in character that you were rolling for
No,
perception.
I don't know.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Fine,
Now you don't
Will.
see me.
God damn it, Tobias.
That's
There you
still
go. You stand over here in this corner.
Go on, what you were saying, please.
So. Yeah, this was right. Who wishes to go check out the chasm?
I will go.
I know Ralpher does.
Phaedra looks over at Ralthor and grins.
Beast, do you wish to come with us?
Sure.
You alright?
Yes.
I'm gonna insight that.
Yeah, Phaedra.
Oh, of course.
I mean, I don't need to roll deception because he's fine. It's just out of character that I'm not so fine. If it sounds like that.
Sorry. Alright. Anyone else wishes, I guess we should head out.
Yeah, but it's like, yeah, let's head out.
You alright?
Talking in character or out of character right now, Tobias?
Yeah, out of character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we started a bit later, but do you guys want to continue to our normal to our normal amount of time, or just
I mean,
pick
I'm
up
fine
here
keep-
next week, guys?
oh,
'Cause I
I'm
know
fine to keep going.
Because I know for some of you this is getting really late, and for others of you, you're gotta get going with some other stuff.
It's 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
This isn't even the time that we usually stop, to be honest. We used to stop at around 7 o'clock, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, back in the day,
So
and
we've
then
still
we
got an hour there.
and then we moved it back because some people's schedules.
You did?
I can play for another half an hour if we're going to do something.
Okay. Yeah, because
Same.
you guys are heading into the Chasm District.
Alright.
So we can just move your tokens over there. Alright. So, it is morning. It's probably about 9 a.m. I figure you guys just grab something really quick on the way out the door from the the various servants. There's still like people in recovery phase right now. There's like clerics and whatnot, and other people gathering throughout the Lord's Enclave, trying to do what they can. Other people like are giving out stuff. In fact, as you were leaving, Mother Windstar and Ilos Windstar were both talking about how to help out some of the neighborhood of anybody that didn't fare as well as they did. You notice that there are less guards than there used to be as you walk through the streets. It looks like a lot of the guards died at the castle from different parts of the city. And as you get into the Chasm District, there's still people, walking this way and that, others standing around. More populated than usual, it seems. All discussing what sort of things that were happening last night.
Vader will try to like perk up and overhear some of the conversations as they walk through.
Yeah, they're mostly talking about the mysterious wave that seemed to come out from them and from the chasm that woke people up. And seems to be the wave that Ralthor was talking about.
Does Will notice any kind of the corruption he saw down in Palio's basement?
Roll a perception check. No, as you look around, the streets seem to be pretty much the same. Are you heading straight for the water, or are you heading to high on the wall?
Will is heading to the chasm.
Okay.
Whether or not if other people notice it, I don't know.
What about the rest of you? What are you doing?
Yeah, headed to the chasm first. Sticking together, or trying to.
Yeah, the chasm.
Stick together.
Alright. Eventually, you make it down to the water, and it seems a bit lower than the last time you were here, last time you saw it. You also notice that a lot more people are kind of gathered, around specific places looking. And, roll an intelligence check, everybody that's here.
Yep.
Nope.
Beast. Beast. Well, your companions seem to be a little bit, off of sorts. Maybe because they weren't the ones that... Some of them weren't the ones that went. I mean, Ralthor was there and Will was there. But they seem to be looking at other stuff at the moment. But you take notice the fact that nearby, basically across that bridge, is that cult headquarters that you guys were at. It's like, been burned to the ground now. It was burned down a while ago at that point. But around there, the water seems to have dipped even lower, as if that could be the epicenter.
Hey guys, remember that gold thing that I told you about that we needed to check the basement? Right?
No,
That's
No.
like the epicenter of the stuff.
I wasn't here for that. But
I wasn't either.
Neither was
Me
I.
neither.
Wait, wasn't Ralph for?
I'm pretty sure I brought it up multiple times, to be fair. I think I brought it up when we were doing the whole... I don't know what else
Yeah.
business we were doing. I'm pretty sure I brought it up a few times.
Yeah, you brought it up, and I'm pretty sure he knew where the cult was.
Oh wait, isn't that the place where the cult is?
That's what I just said.
He just, Ralph.
Oh my.
Oh.
I think he's
Will
distracted.
heads across the bridge.
Vader will follow.
Same.
Yeah,
Yeah, same.
there are people just kind of like hanging around outside. They're all looking towards the water, and they keep saying, "Yeah, it's the damnedest thing. The light came out from right here. It seemed to be coming from here, and the wave, and yeah, I had just woken up because something felt like it was passing. It pulled out of me, and then I come over here and I see more of it just seem to be coming right out from the water, and other people that were also losing, something was coming out from them and joining that light from the water that was heading out. And you just hear these people talking.
When you
Can
say
we-
like the water is lower here, do you mean like there's a stream of water from the chasm into the cults?
No, it seems to be like the epicenter of where this whole shenanigans back came.
What does that mean? An epicenter?
It seems to be the cause of whatever happened.
Yeah, but how is that visible?
I don't know.
The water level is a bit lower here. It's as if, like, the water is mostly stagnant in this region, and right in this area right here, it's as if, like, the water is lower, as if because you can see bits of the of rock that were once filled in, and
All right. I'm just a little bit confused. If it's connected to the chasm, the body of water, and it's lower, then it must be flowing down, because otherwise it would be equal
Okay.
to the same level of water as in the chasm.
Yep, but the
So
rest of the
it's-
chasm is mostly there, but then there's just area that seems to dipped its flowed in.
So there's a lower body of water here.
Yeah,
That does not seem to be filling up.
You ever seen those stupid pools that have the jacuzzi off to one side? That's isolated.
Yes.
But from one distance, if enough water filled into it, they would be equal level. But if enough water dropped, you would see two different levels of water because they're two different sections. It's kind of like that. It's like all of the water seems to be around there, and then there's this little jacuzzi bit right here, which is where these stones are like over and above what the rest of the water level is. So down there, it's even lower than outside of that stone level.
Okay, so there's no flowing water from the chasm into this body of pool.
No, but there used to be, but now the water level's remarkably a bit lower in the chasm, and here in this section, it's even lower than that.
Right. Does it look like the water is draining from this pool body?
No, it looks like it had been, but isn't anymore.
All right. Should we all investigate the pool of water?
If you mean going for a swim, no.
Beast is gonna look for the entrance to the basement, if it's still in there.
There's rubble all over the entire area where the cult headquarters used to be.
I'll start moving it then.
Roll a strength check.
Phaedra will assist.
This should be easy for you.
The people gathered around start staring at you guys. What are you
Give you-
doing?
Rathel's
Leonard?
just gonna say nothing. We're just looking for buried treasure.
They start shaking their heads. Yeah, you basically
Wait,
start
they
shifting
ordered?
something, but you have no idea how long this is going to take and how deep you need to get in order to reach the basement level. So you're going to be at this for quite some time.
Could I get down close to the water?
Sure.
Could I, like, stick my hand in it?
Sure.
I do that.
The water feels a bit cooler than you would expect, given this area is called Neverwinter.
Why is it cooler, I think, and want to do some kind of investigation, nature?
Because the water around it, the water outside of this little, what do I want to call it, culvert maybe? Is warmer because it's still part of the volcanic, hot spring that flows through this region. But the water here in this little in this little pool is not. It's colder.
Alright, tell me what. I'm gonna just take up a little bit of water in my hands and smell it and just try to figure out if it's salt or...
Roll a nature
fresh.
check. It smells fresh enough to you.
I taste it.
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
There seems to be something not quite right about this water. It gets into your system and immediately you feel the urge to puke. This is clearly not drinking water.
Alright. Let's see here.
What happened?
Well, I'm gonna cast protection from poison.
Okay.
Did you go swimming?
No.
Nope,
You drank-
but there's something wrong with the water.
Knew it.
Is the pool here? Is it like a deep pool or pretty
It's
shallow?
probably about as deep as the rest of the water in the area, but it's lower, so technically it's not as deep.
Ralph's going to go up to one of the strangers around him and ask if anybody actually uses this water.
They look at the water in the chasm, look back at you, and kind of lift their eyebrows. It's like, are you crazy? Nobody wants to drink from that.
I meant use, not drink.
Drink, used, nothing. It's. Don't you know what happened here years ago? There's something. There's
Roughly.
always been something bad with this water. I mean, pretty much it's one of the reasons why it's free to build down here because the water is useless.
Oh, well, that ruins my ideas of telling them to make sure that people don't touch the water anyway.
Okay.
I
It
could try
might.
swimming.
It might be a risk, but I can take 2 more people with me.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, I'll
What are you
protect
doing?
I'll protect you from the poison, and then I'm gonna make you be able to breathe water.
Alright. I don't mind going.
Wait, we're going for a swim?
As I said, I can take 2 more people. Well, actually, I could probably take more.
I mean, I can go.
Out of character, are tieflings good with water?
Why
Some
wouldn't they
Pokemon-
be?
it's
Because aren't they supposed to be more natural to, like, fiery deaths and all that shit?
I mean, they're just humans who, yeah. If you were to Baxi, you wouldn't like water, but the Tiefling doesn't have a problem with water.
They're just
Okay,
resistant
easy.
to fire, basically.
Cool. Just thought I'd ask because, you know.
I mean,
I don't know shit
beasts
about
would
them,
smell
but
like
still.
wet dog.
I mean, I might not like
Yeah.
water, but
Phaedra will tap Bob on her side. He actually helps me swim.
More
Does
like
he help you breathe underwater?
No, I need your help with that.
battle axe. Her battle axe is also named Bob.
Well, if anyone here is willing to jump into the water without the protection of poison, raise your hand.
Phaedra,
oh wait, hang on.
I'm pretty
yeah,
good with
oh.
poison.
As long as I can breathe underwater, as long as you make me breathe underwater, I can do it.
Alright.
I don't need a spell for that.
Also, I can just go in there anyway, but I need to help breathe.
Yeah, I can make all of you breathe, but I can only make 2 of you. Well, actually, you know what? I can probably squeeze out the 3rd one protection. I can make
Yeah,
all of you.
I don't need protection against poison.
Alright. Well, in that case, like, this is gonna drain me quite heavily, but it's probably for the best if we all go down and search. So are you all with me?
Always.
I've,
In that case, I'm just
Out of-
gonna need to take 10 minutes. And I'm gonna cast Water Breathing as a ritual. And after I've casted as a ritual, I'm gonna cast Protection from Poison on Shiori, Protection from Poison on Ralpho.
I don't need it. I don't think.
you do. You don't
You-
have
you-
Because I
resist.
got I ended up using the money that Phaedra gave me to buy a necklace.
Oh
remember?
yeah, he did.
I forgot what it was called, but it's supposed to be a snake, I think.
Like Paratap protection from poison or something.
I think it is, but
Okay.
I can't see it in my inventory. Which is
Do you have it?
weird.
I'm pulling up my DM's guide.
Yeah, it's like a protection from poison thing.
Found it.
Proving
It's
it's
just a
poison.
really long name, and all I saw was Parapta proof.
Against poison. Green.
Yeah.
Woo!
Alright, so Beast and Shiori, you're protected from poison for an hour.
Okay.
So you have advantage against the saving throws from poison
Yeah.
and resistance to poison damage. As do I, and I'm out
Yeah.
of second level spell slots, and I cast Water Breathing as a ritual, which lasts 24 hours.
So only Biddy can't go, right?
I can go. I'm immune to poison.
Oh,
Yeah.
so we can all go.
Yeah,
Okay.
No,
Yeah, so-
I'm actually physically immune to poison
Oh, nice.
Because of the demon.
Oh, that's
bit.
right.
because of my sword.
And the sword.
Oh yeah.
Forgot about that sword.
Yeah,
So
that sword
you
that
can
you
all-
can practice steal and,
Yeah.
and toss into something else, yeah.
You can all breathe now,
Very
so
useful sword.
Will
So
just
we're all
jumps in the
going
water.
first. Oh,
Sure, we'll drop in
I
after
broke
Will.
him.
Same.
Jump.
Ralthal,
Yeah.
he's going to be on the bridge and wave at the people that are watching us, and just fall
they're-
into the water.
They are basically all staring at the group of you as you go down, and one of them actually waves back slowly as Ralphor dives in.
Ralthal's not diving in though; he's belly flopping in.
Oh, well, you know, before he goes into the water, that's just kind of what they do.
I'm giving them a show of discomfort.
Question: so you can breathe underwater. Can we talk or no?
That's a gray area.
God damn it! We needed Galmel.
We don't need to talk on the water.
And I have the spell message.
Respiration. Okay.
Yeah, but doesn't that have a vocal component? I'm pretty sure message does.
Yeah, it does. Damn it.
And
We can
as
speak in bubbles.
as you guys descend into the water and discover an opening into a new passageway that seems to go deeper, and going underneath where the cult headquarters was. We're going to pick this up next week.
Oh, what a cliffhanger!
Hey, Grizz. Can we have a talk?